Welcome to Garbage of the Year. Garbo of the Year 2017. Woo! Everyone loves Garbos.
So hyped about garbage.
Yeah, it's... So if you don't know what this is, I'm sorry. But basically, the year has ended. 2017 is dead. We put the nail in the coffin yesterday, actually, I think it was, right? We collectively did it as a universe.
We buried it with Doc's body.
Ah, yes. Everyone loves that man.
Rip Doc.
Rip Doc. So we thought, why not celebrate it in style by talking about the garbage video games that came out this year? Because there were many, and it wouldn't be 2017 in the year without Peachy fucking vaping in everyone's fucking ears. Love it. But yeah. So
I will attempt to do that away from the microphone, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Move away from the mic to breathe.
Yeah.
How old
You just not fucking breathe.
How old does that mean? Like 10 years?
10
How old
years
is what?
and counting.
The chocolate rain. I move away from the mic to breathe.
I don't know.
Oh, is that what you were referencing a meme? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Memeing in 2017.
Sorry. But yeah, hey everyone. So there's things we're going to talk about. The first is the most disappointing game of the year. We got 3 each because there's a lot of them. It's all trash. Yep. We got biggest surprises because it wouldn't be a year of garbage if there wasn't some fucking gems in there as well. Future releases we're excited about because we're already looking to 2018 because 2017 was garbo. Games I wish I played in 2017 because we couldn't tell the shit from the trash. So, you know, it's hard to tell whether or not you've come into something nice. And so these are the games that we wish we got to. And then our top 5 of the year each. And that's the format. Who's ready to talk about Garbo?
Peachy.
Oh, wait, are you saying that I'm ready, or is that you starting to talk about garbage?
I think everyone's starting to talk about garbage. Yeah. All right, so what is your first... Let's start with Peachy. Peachy, what is your Garbo of the year?
My Garbo of the year... I don't know, they're all right up there, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say loot boxes? Can we just put that up there in 2017?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Speaking of loot boxes, one of my disappointments was Destiny 2.
So much for doing it in order, you fucking piece of shit.
Oh, you want me to do it in order? Lawbreakers, then. Lawbreakers.
We literally just talked about that 2 minutes ago, and you're like...
I'll stay like this until it's my turn.
So, Destiny 2... No. Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers was a big disappointment for me. Not because the game wasn't good, because I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was a really fun shooter. Sheepdog, you're going to hurt your nose after a while.
It's a little bit squashed.
Yeah.
God,
Face is starting to look like a cabbage, a bright red cabbage. Not because the game was bad, but obviously the developers did something wrong because no one was fucking playing it.
Yeah.
No, they just didn't talk about it, man. That's all it was. Like, it came out, and you had to go to YouTube to find information about it. Like, I was like, what is this fucking game? Like, it was made by, what, Epic, right? No, it was made by, who was it? It was Epic. No, it was Cliff Belinsky. That's his thing, right? It was his thing, and he was like, "Yeah, man, been working on this game. It's my you know, love letter to like arena shooters and all that sort of shit." And the guy couldn't fucking talk about it or pay like was there like a cutoff point where they just went, "Fuck it, man. We're not going to support this game with ads or anything." Like, did they just think it would just like be a viral hit? Like,
I think that's what they thought it would be because Cliffy B was on it. Like, that's why it was on my radar. Is because it was Cliffy B's game. And I'm like, oh, cool, I'll check that out. And then I played it when it was free. But yeah, when I was streaming it, like, there was no adverts for it. It wasn't being plugged. It wasn't being pushed. So the developers did something fucking wrong because that game was fun. I had a lot of fun with that game. We played a lot of it, didn't we, Sheepy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Blitzball, they had what's his face from Rick and Morty. Like all the pieces were there, apart from they forgot to fucking sell it.
One thing I will say is it wasn't helped by the fact that all of the other arena shooters recently have been characters. You know, like their characters have character, and they're all Blizzardified, where they're like, you know, not offensive.
All right, let me just ask you real quickly. How many butts were in the game? Like, how many girl butts were in the game?
There's a lot of girl butts.
There's a lot of girl butts. So what was the problem? Butts. They could have just fucking.
It wasn't hypersexualized like Blizzard.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't offensive enough to be.
It wasn't offensive enough. All right. Yeah, I mean, you got to. That's the box you got to check this year, right? You got to cater to either being socially acceptable or socially unacceptable, or anime. Nothing in between. That's like the trifecta.
There's nothing in between those 2 points.
Because if you play it safe and be like, okay, they're just like dudes in trench coats and a lady, but you can't see a butt because there's a trench coat in the way, then you're not going to sell any copies of the game.
Basically, if you want to make a successful game, you don't want to make a good game.
Yeah, if the character doesn't talk about how small the other people's penises are, then you're doing it wrong. Honestly.
That game, the shooting was tight. The movement was amazing. Probably the best movement I've ever had in a first-person shooter ever.
Yeah. Amazing.
The characters did kind of stand out, but they weren't character-driven. It was more about the shooting and the game. Well, it was mostly about the movement.
Game and the movement.
Yeah. It was a game. It wasn't like a whole franchise with comic books and T-shirts and messages. They just didn't advertise it. Yeah, I think if they'd like spent, a bit of money on advertising, it would be alive and doing well.
Yeah,
and then it would advertise itself. I think they were just hoping that Cliffy B, everyone will advertise there, and it just didn't happen.
No one played it.
It was a disappointment.
I saw barely any Twitch streamers or YouTubers playing it. I think that's the main problem.
Yeah.
It just wasn't on people's radars.
No.
Unless you knew who Cliffy B was.
No idea.
So, talk to me about why you hate fun.
I hate fun. I have a very low tolerance for grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, I really like the Borderlands series. Like Borderlands 2 is one of my favorite games ever.
Okay, so you just don't know what you want, is what you're trying to say.
Well, no, there are games with grinding.
I hate grinding, but if the grinding is good, I like it.
No, but if the game's fun, you don't notice the grinding. Yeah. But unless you drop in 50 quid a week on this game, Destiny 2, you ain't having fun. All this
50 quid a week? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna. How long did you play it? What level did you get to? What level did you get to?
I couldn't level up anymore on the demo.
You played the demo.
Yeah,
and you didn't play.
I have the game. I haven't played it since it was released because
you haven't played the game. Did you play Destiny 1?
No, I didn't have a.
Okay, so what did you think the grinding was? Let me ask you that. What did you think the grinding was in Destiny 2?
Well, no. In the demo, there was no grinding, but I know that Destiny has got a lot of grinding because it's that kind of shooter, yeah? But the gameplay wasn't fun enough for me to think, right, I'm going to sink hours into this.
So here's what I did. I bought Destiny 2 after so here's what happened. I bought Destiny 2, I pre-ordered it. The demo came out, I played it, and I'm like, fuck this piece of shit, and I, got a refund. But then when the game came out, I bought it again. And it's probably single-handedly the most game that I played this year. All that considered. Not because the grinding, so the only reason you didn't play is because you presumed there'd be grinding that you didn't like. Is that what you're saying?
I hate grinding. As a rule, I hate grinding. There are games I play that have grinding. But if the core gameplay isn't fun for me, I'm definitely not going to enjoy that core gameplay while I'm grinding.
So I agree with you. The beta was a terrible... can we just put that... is there a checkbox somewhere that we can put in terrible things to do this year? Make a beta that doesn't show stuff about your game. For example, Monster Hunter World. That beta is fucking abysmal, but I bet that game is going to be amazing when it comes out. But the demo itself, if you the beta, right? Just call it a demo, please. Just call it a demo because that's all it is. You're not beta testing anything. right? Like the game's going to come out in a month. What are you going? There's nothing you're going to be able to change. It's a glorified demo. But when the demo doesn't show what the actual aspect of the game is that you're playing, you get people like Peachy who buy the game and never play it. Right? So
yeah, I own the game. It's sitting there. It's sitting right there on my Blizzard launcher. I haven't installed it.
You have a Blizzard launcher? Dude.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Battle.net
that's how you
launcher.
launch Blizzard games, mate.
Why are you playing Blizzard games?
I'm not. I literally
There you go,
installed
then.
it for that Destiny 2 demo.
So yeah, this is just keep in mind this is everyone's opinions. They might not be factual or a good opinion in the case of PG.
Oh, if you want unbiased opinions,
There's no such thing as an unbiased
write
opinion.
something down on a piece of paper and then just pull it out for every random question.
Yeah.
What was the best game of 2017? Cabbages. There we go. Unbiased.
Cabbages. Well, I mean,
like cabbages.
so let me just ask again. Like, what was the? You just didn't like the gameplay, pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't think the shooting was particularly fun. I didn't think the level. Okay, so the
What
art
class did you
style,
play? What class did you play?
I can't remember.
Titan, Warlock, Hunter.
I played two classes.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what they were called.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't find the shooting fun. It wasn't satisfying to kill things.
So part of what you're missing with Destiny 2 was the fact that the guns in the game are very different from each other. And in the beta, you couldn't change guns. Like you had like the 3 that you were given, and that's it. So part of the fun for Destiny comes from finding a gun that you like, getting good with it, and then using that in the game modes that they have. Because there's a couple of different game modes that they had, right? So it's not just a PvP experience. It's not just a PvE experience. It's a little of both. And where they faltered with Destiny 2, in my opinion, because here's the thing: I played it all the way to max level. Like I'm max level. I'm 335 power level. It's just the RNG was the problem, and they didn't respect people's time. And if you said that, I would have been like, oh, okay, I understand why you're disappointed with that, because the game could have been a lot more. You know, it could have been a lot bigger, could have been a lot better. But you know, it is what it is.
And because of all this bullshit with the loot boxes, I'm not interested in installing it and trying it.
The loot boxes
Even
are
after what you
primarily only cosmetic. That you can't buy the loot that makes you powerful.
Yeah, I don't actually. Okay, so I used to not care about things being cosmetic, but I changed my mind recently on that.
Oh yeah,
Loot
what was
boxes are
the
loot boxes.
what was the no? I mean, I guess so, but like, what was the problem that you had? Like, what changed your mind where cosmetics are now counted as like the same thing as people spending money to get powerful? In
Someone
a game?
explained to me that if you think that cosmetic items aren't important, then you don't respect art style in a video game. And when you're talking about like a multiplayer online game, standing out from the crowd is a big part of the enjoyment of the game. So they're gating enjoyment behind a loot box. That's basically condensed why I changed my mind about cosmetic items.
I mean, there's some truth to that, but at the same time, like,
That's just the shortened version. There are so many videos about it. Like, you don't listen to me, but that's my opinion now. I used to like, oh, it's cosmetic. It's cosmetic. Who cares? You can look different. But
well, you're not wrong
fun
in the
looking different.
Yeah, you're not wrong in
and
the
I
fact
feel like
that
content is being gated from me, even though I've just paid 60 quid for a game.
You're not wrong in the fact that being able to, like, in the game achieve those things is harder than it's significantly harder than what they made it out to be. And Destiny did do a lot of bullshit with that, right? They did the thing where they changed the XP level in order to... So the thing you're talking about, the cosmetic items, the things you can buy with money is called Bright Engrams, right?
Yeah.
You get one for every time you level up, right? So every time you gain a level in this game, you gain one of those items. And they're normally pretty good about what they have inside of them. Like, you get, like, you know, new sparrows, which are like the vehicles you can drive around the overworld in. You get, like, new items, new auras. You get, like, armor pieces. You get... emotes, that sort of stuff from there. And the thing that they did that was really stupid was originally they gated it so that after you pass level 20, you wouldn't get any more like the XP required for the level up, because there's no number there. It doesn't show you a number. They just sort of padded it out and stuff and made it look like different and stuff. So you weren't really getting the stuff that you wanted from it. And they were lying about it, honestly. The other thing they did was
and stuff. It just there's little things that keep coming out about what they're hiding from the players,
and the last
just makes me not want to.
Well, then they changed it, but then the winter event came out, which is happening right now, and they put every single cosmetic item that you can get in the winter event behind that engram wall, which is like you need to level up to get it. You can get 3 a week,
or you can buy it,
right? But it didn't stop my enjoyment of the game. That was a completely different issue. But I understand why you think that's a disappointment.
It's when they're stripping more and more things that I enjoy about a game away or locking it behind whatever.
Yeah,
I'm having less fun because that's what I like out of a game.
So I never played Destiny 1 either.
No,
but a lot of the content they're bringing back to Destiny 2 in the form of DLC and enemies and stuff like that is from the original one. Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that because A, it's kind of lazy, but B, a lot of people playing Destiny 2 on PC haven't played Destiny 1.
Exactly, right? Like it's kind of lazy, it's kind of cheesy, but I'm probably going to continue to play the game because I got the expansion pack DLC pass thing.
Because you sunk so much money into it, and
Well, I mean, I had fun with it.
You got to get your enjoyment out of that game.
Well,
right?
I've played it a very long time, so I think I've got my enjoyment out of it, but I'm going to get more content because of what packs I bought. But yeah.
What do you think about Destiny 2, Sheepdog?
I've never played Destiny or Destiny 2. I've never seen a video of Destiny or Destiny 2. I have no idea what it is. It looks like Overwatch.
What do you think? Oh, it's definitely not Overwatch. What do you think about looter MMO shooters that were designed to go on console because console was missing that type of game, brought back to PC?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
It's 2017, man. Don't expect anything out of me.
Metting in 2017. Man, that meme's gonna die in like 2 days. I'm sad.
That was a meme?
What's your next disappointment there, Peach?
So my next disappointment, technically it was released this year.
Yeah.
It was Bulletstorm, the full clip edition, the Redux of Bulletstorm. Now, I liked Bulletstorm. It was insane, fun gameplay, fun movement. It was just fun. It wasn't like a game you go, oh man, I have just had an emotional experience. It was just stupid, pointless, distasteful fun.
They made a lot of dick jokes in that game, right?
Yeah. It was just dumb. It was like a dumb action movie, but in game form. The problem was it had games for Windows Live, the original.
Did it?
Yeah. Online was a bit shit. The game didn't run very well, but at the time, it looked pretty good for that sort of the other games that were coming out around that time. So they did the Redux. It looks a little better. There's probably a better shader on there. It runs worse than the original.
To be fair, your
like
computer is a bit
DX9 game.
To be fair, your computer is a bit of a potato. I've seen how it looks when you run Arc, so
I mean, Arc is a piece of shit. I fucking hate Arc. But I like if I play games offline when I'm not streaming, I don't have issues with running games. I did with a DX9 game. DirectX 9. My old 550 could run a DX9 game perfectly. So it was, again, that isn't so much the game, that is the terrible port. Is it technically a port because it was from PC?
It's a
remaster. Just did the bare minimum
when they say
to re-release it.
When they say remaster, it doesn't mean a port, in my opinion. It means that they just when they put effort in, porting it from console to PC is one thing, but remastering it is another, in my opinion. And what I hear about what Bulletstorm did, Gearbox got a hold of it, remastered it, put Duke Nukem in it. Did you play Duke Nukem in there? Did you play with Duke Nukem?
course I did.
Yeah?
Because I'm a sucker.
How was the lines from John St. John? Because I heard that...
Amazing!
Yeah?
Best part about the game.
Yeah?
I mean, the game was still there. It just ran really badly, and I was just disappointed. I was hoping I could just play Bulletstorm again. Maybe it looks a bit shinier. Maybe there's some extra content. I mean, you know.
Did you try and run it without
50
streaming?
lines from John St. John isn't enough content for me to... It was full price as well. It was a full price AAA. If they sold it at like 11, 14 quid, maybe I wouldn't complain. Well, no, I probably would because it ran so badly.
So why are you buying games that you already own? What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I thought it would be better. I thought it would be different this time.
It's the same fucking game. What? I think the biggest disappointment is Peachy never learns. I think that's what we can surmise from all this.
It just disappointed me. I don't know. I was just expecting more, and I was certainly expecting it to run better. Like that is, you know, for a game that old, when they didn't really change the visuals too much, you know, at the very least, expect it to run better.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why that was a disappointment to me.
All right. Well, Sheepy, my man.
My turn!
What's your hot garbo of the year?
Okay, so, first one up, Wolfenstein 2.
No. I will cut you.
Okay, so, first one up, South Park, Fractured Butthole. I just didn't like it.
Why? Elaborate.
Butthole.
Let me say, like, it was great for a South Park game. You know, if you just want...
Oh, what? What are you comparing it to the Nintendo 64 ones? Like, what are you comparing it to?
No. Like, just, you know, just... If someone said to you, they're making another South Park game, this is what I'd expect, pretty much. However, I was hoping that they'd make an effort to make a game instead of just a basic bare bones blandness and then shove a whole load of stuff. Like, I love the South Park stuff, you know, when you got Butters doing his evil Professor Chaos stuff, that's fun. You know, when...
So it's not that you were upset with the game.
No, I was.
It's... Well, I mean, all this is a mechanic to deliver South Park into your brain, right? The game, the first one was the same. It never had any real like girth to the gameplay.
Hoping for more.
I was hoping the fact that they were successful with the first one meant they'd actually make an effort and not basically remake the last one, except with a few extra things. Like, you know what? The biggest innovation they did in this game is probably the fact that you can have 3 friends, you know, 3 companions with you instead of 1.
Was it only 1 in the first one?
Yeah. And that was actually a problem I had with the game, or the first one, as I was like, I don't like that there's only one possible, you know, you can only have 1 person at a time. So they fixed that, but they didn't fix the fact that it's bland and boring game.
Did you play it on the hardest difficulty, Black Child Edition?
I don't remember, you know.
There was a slider in the game for gameplay difficulty, like combat difficulty. And there was also a make things cost more slider, which was how dark is your skin from the character creation. So, I don't know. Did you do both of those?
I don't think so. I think I just made a regular character.
Can I ask you about South Park in general, Sheepdog?
Yeah.
Do you still watch it?
I'll occasionally go back and watch a favorite episode. I don't like the incredibly gross out ones or the like really like in your face shit humor. You know what I mean?
Like the ones where they stick food up their butt and poop out their mouth.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, I can see the entertainment in it. I just don't find it particularly funny. I like the ones which are slightly more social commentary and, you know, like the Britney Spears one where they sacrifice her. I thought that was, you know, that one's a good one.
But you haven't watched any of the more modern stuff, is that what you're saying?
I've seen a few. But
do you know
honestly,
who PC Principal is?
Yeah, I watched that episode when he turns up.
Okay, so you're like reasonably far.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like every time they introduce something which I quite liked, it then went away. You know, it was just for that small section where they were like, you know, and it feels like they think adding in a very small mechanic, like being able to throw your farts and then being able to call your friends to solve puzzles, you know, it's also, you know, it's just like the core idea of the game is brilliant. You know, kids pretending to be superheroes and you actually get to play as them and have those powers is really, really interesting if it wasn't a South Park game.
Without the South Park humor, are the mechanics good?
No. It's boring. It's so
Bare
boring.
bones.
It's walk from place to place. Like, the number of times I saw a kind of reference to, like, video game tropes, you know, like the fast travel.
Mm-hmm.
The fast travel is just far enough away for it to not be fun to walk from place to place, but close enough that it's kind of not worth fast traveling.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, because the loading time is sometimes longer than the time it would take you to walk there, but you don't have to walk there. I know what you mean.
So it's just like when they do these video game trope things, it ends up making the game worse. Like, it can be funny, and you can be like, oh yeah, you know, fast travels, haha. But at the end of the day, you're still pissed off with the mechanic of the game. You know, the only thing I really quite enjoyed was in the first one, the very quick, audio log files that you found, and yeah, that was kind of funny. But...
mechanics aside, I thought it was a great delivery of South Park, and they did a pretty good job of, like, the first game was like a love letter to South Park, and it was crude as fuck. Like, it was like you literally dodge your dad's swinging testicles at some point in that game.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one, it was less about, like, I'm gonna say it as the gameplay is of him taking a shit, but less toilet humor, and more like just like, I guess, making fun of modern idiots. You know what I mean? Like it was more focused on, like, like the whole scene of just like you sitting with Mr. Garrison and talking about, like, what sexual orientation you are for 45 minutes. Like...
And then when you come out and you've got some weird, classification, and every time
Scandinavian and aminal sexual.
Yeah, and you know that those rednecks are going to come out and beat the crap out of you for being whatever the hell you are, and everyone else choosing whatever they want to choose. But again, that's the thing, is, like, I wish it had some kind of meaning. You know, like, they could really delve into the idea of taking the piss of, like, D&D and, like, alignments and all these kind of things. It's just like a throwaway joke, you know, which is fine, but it's not what I'd like in a game. So
basically, like the first one, if you're still watching
exactly
the film
like
and still enjoying the show, you'll enjoy the game.
Yeah,
the thing is like, there's only so long you can watch a South Park episode, and I'd say 30 minutes is probably the cutoff point. So if you play it in little installments, you don't play it for too long, it's not going to be as bad. But I played it in quite big chunks, and, you know, South Park gets a little older after a while.
I played it for 28 hours straight, beat everything in the game. I had a fucking great time with it. So, opinions, right?
Opinions.
So
my next one. Pause for effect, and also so Henley can get the video up.
Yeah. Okay.
My next one is Wolfenstein 2.
The new Colossus?
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Of the Colossi.
There's really not much to say about this. It was a shit game.
I heard that it had
into a Nazi shooter game.
Yeah, but I heard it had some of the best set pieces in gaming in 2017.
Gives a fuck about set pieces. I want to shoot people.
That's what you do. You shoot them in space as you're flying a rocket up to the moon.
I wouldn't know. I didn't get out of the dank corridors.
To be fair, Sheepdog,
you didn't play the game?
No. If you want me to... If
he spent the entire game in the wheelchair, Henley.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
Look. If you want me to enjoy your game, I have to get into it in the first hour. And like the thing is I
All right.
don't know.
Question before you continue: did you
Yeah.
refund your money?
Yeah,
So you played it for less than 2 hours.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I
So-
watched the entire stream.
Like this, like don't get me wrong, it was quality entertainment.
Quality.
But the thing is I couldn't see the enemies because it was so dark, and the enemies were so dark, and then I tried to shoot. I like the aiming was fucking terrible. I don't know whether it was a mixture of my mouse.
You were in a wheelchair the entire time.
She does bring up a good point about a game needs to grab you in the first hour.
It's got to grab me, and
longer.
It's a
Yeah.
sequel to the first one where you ended up in a wheelchair at the end of the game.
it
Yeah,
doesn't matter. It has to grab you.
The thing is, the main problem. I've not played the game. I've watched a lot of playthroughs.
I've never played it. I've heard it has great set pieces though.
But it was all about cutscenes and set pieces and story pushing, and there wasn't enough shooting. I have seen a lot of reviews on the DLC. What's that guy called? Which is just straight up shooting. It doesn't have any other fluff around it. I think it would have done better if it just kind of threw you into something. They could have done a flashback. They could have done anything. They could have had that wheelchair scene last a couple of minutes. That's all you need, right?
I don't know. I think it. I'm watching the wheelchair scene right now because I've never seen any gameplay of this game.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, like the first game was super good. I didn't play the DLC that they had. And honestly, I would have loved the payoff of this because at the end of the first one, you basically just like you as a person get like taken out of the story, and like the result of it gets taken away from you, and you get put into BJ Blazkowicz gets fucked up. Basically, is what the end of that game is.
Yeah, and he gets put into some power suit or something.
Yeah,
But like I don't know, just the lead up to it. There's a scene where it's like your dad kills your mum, possibly. I can't really remember. and then it's when you're a kid, and then he takes you downstairs with the dog, and then straps you to a table and tries to make you shoot the dog. And then I didn't shoot the dog, and then the dad just shot the dog, and I was just like, they lost me at that point. You know, it was just like.
They should have concentrated more on the shooting. That's why the last one was ridiculous. Like you were dual wielding assault rifles, shooting Nazis in the face.
Yeah.
And in modern Wolfenstein games, that's where your fun is.
And you know what the worst
It went
part
a
about
bit
it?
Call of Duty.
Yeah, it did. The worst part about it for me was the fact that you didn't have a crosshair, and you dual wield guns.
it's called the center of the screen.
Yeah, mate, but I don't like if you're in a wheelchair and like going around, and it was just a bit of a hot mess for me. Like I'm not amazing.
I think that wheelchair is definitely the worst part of the game, and you were having a lot of trouble with it.
Yeah, I couldn't hit shit. I couldn't see shit. A lot of the time, I couldn't see the enemies that were shooting me.
In the wheelchair,
and when I could see them, I couldn't hit them.
Movement is impaired. Your aim is impaired.
Your
As it
health
should
is
be if
always
you're-
going
It's
down.
like you're in a wheelchair or something, you know?
Yeah, but it went on for way too long.
Yeah,
Even watching people breeze through it, because they're not complete first-person idiots.
Thank you.
It still took too long, in my opinion. They should have just been, there's a wheelchair. Quick, skip. Just do that scene with the woman and her daughter, where she's trying to make her daughter a proper Nazi. Just kick
fat
that
shaming,
in straight away.
no less. Fucking Nazis fat shaming.
I mean,
What's
she's
that?
cute and she's got an awesome accent.
That's just because she's German. And
Fat is a descriptor, not an insult.
Any German people out there who would like to have sex with Peachy, I think this might be your year.
2017. Garbage of the year.
Get that. I was going to say kielbasa, but I'm pretty sure that's Mexico.
No, kielbasa is Polish.
Get that bratwurst.
Bratwurst.
Kielbasa does not sound Polish. Don't lie.
I live in Poland. That's what they call every fucking you shit. Anyway.
Third game.
Oh look, you are the top result for this fucking game. I was gonna put your video up. Fuck it, man.
You're welcome.
Right, go for
I
it.
knew this. I just wanted to, a little bit of
Plug.
All right.
It's almost as if you need to advertise to make people support you.
All right. What's the trash?
Lawbreakers.
What's this trash? What is this trash?
The Guild 3, a game I've been looking forward to since I played the Guild 2 like 10 years ago.
Did you start in a wheelchair and did you play it for an hour?
Talking about. Wow.
Philosophically, yes.
Okay.
A philosophical wheelchair.
Yeah, no, this is just...
Hot garbo.
Okay, imagine a game that was really fun, that you really enjoyed, and you played with your friends for hours and hours, and just it was so interesting and slightly different from the usual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine they remade it badly, it ran terribly, the UI was a fucking atrocious mess, and they just completely remade the game you already had played.
So Destiny
And then-
2.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't played Destiny.
Oh,
or
sorry.
Destiny 2.
Lawbreakers. That's what this game.
No. But basically, like, the UI is a mess. It's hard to figure shit out. Anyone who'd never played this game could play it for 10 hours and still not have a fucking clue what's going on. And they haven't added anything from the last game, from the Guild 2.
Mm-hmm.
They only have the exact same features and gameplay mechanics.
So what's different? So what makes this the sequel?
Nothing. It looks worse. It plays worse. It's buggy as fuck. It is an early access, so whatever. But it was not ready to be released even into early access.
That's the whole point of early access, though.
Like this is the only legitimate game where I was like, I think I'm really, really going to enjoy this because I loved the last one. Really looking forward to this. And about 30 minutes into this fucking video that is playing right now, I almost cried.
You
I
get your
did
money
shit
back?
myself.
Do you get your money back?
No, I still got it. Mate, I got like 60,000 views on this video. I'm making more of these, motherfucker. I'm gonna milk this as much as I can.
Hot Garbo of the year. Nice.
By the way, please watch my guild videos when I make them. Anyway, on to you. Enough of the guild. No, we can't talk about it because I'm the only one who knows it or played it.
It kind of looks like The
Sims.
no, not The Sims, but like the one where you play the like heirs and stuff like that, and it's really pulled out.
That is pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
You basically own a trading family, merchant family, and you can build like different shops that make different things like poisons or swords, and then you sell them. And there's a whole political aspect of it where you can become like mayor and make laws and
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So my first disappointment of 2017. I think anyone who follows my channel or has been
Strife.
with this knows exactly what I'm talking about. Fucking Fortnite.
South Park, fractured butthole.
Fortnite.
Oh, sorry.
Fortnite. Fucking Fortnite. Oh my god.
Are you talking about the base game or the Battle Royale one?
The base game. I haven't played Battle Royale. As far as I'm concerned, that's not their game anyway. So, Fortnite. What can I say about Fortnite? It's it had such promise. The first region of the game, the first two regions of the game, great, right? The problem with that game is it's the same thing that Peachy said that he thought was Destiny 2's problem, but it wasn't. But it is in this game, where in order to gain power, you need to actually like get llamas, which is their equivalent of loot boxes. So in order to get better guns, in order to get better PC cards, in order to get more powerful stuff, in order to level up your stuff, you need to have llamas. And how do you get llamas? Well, you have to fucking grind it out and pay money. That's pretty much the only two things. So
it's basically a mobile game?
Aren't
yeah,
all games
it's-
in 2017?
Yeah,
yes,
pretty
the
much.
mechanic is very similar to the mobile games, except for the fact that you can kind of ignore it for the first maybe area, and then the second area you start to feel the pain of not having powerful stuff, and then when you get to the third area, it's just like you just get absolutely reamed by the game because of the fact that you're missing this stuff. And it does make a huge difference. And it was just insane. I couldn't believe what it was. And, you know, it had such great ideas and stuff. And I spent a lot of money on this game. I actually spent money on buying llamas and all that stuff because I thought the game would actually, you know, respect the money I'm putting into it a little bit, you know? Like, it was an Epic game, and Epic does right by people in a lot of their older titles and stuff. So I had high hopes that this would not be what it was, and it ended up being that. So
Can I say?
Yeah, go for it.
I knew it was going to be trash because I remember seeing Fortnite when it was a completely different game like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then it didn't come out, and they kept changing it, and then it was like, now we're coming out and it's this, and I was like, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And it turns out no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's for me it was just like when I talk about disappointments, it's games that for me I wished were better, you know? Like I just wish that they were better. I wish it was the game that in my mind's eye I sat down and went, fuck yeah, this game is going to be good. Here's what I think it's going to be. And then when it came out, no matter how hard I tried to make it that game, it just wasn't. So, I don't know. Fortnite, way to poop in my fucking cereal there, brother.
I will say I've watched a lot of people streaming it, and from what I've seen, I think I completely agree with you. But the Battle Royale does look like a lot more fun.
The Battle Royale is actually a pretty interesting thing because of the fact that it's... because of the fact that it was a mechanic that was proven to be people wanted, right? Player on Battle Pugs did it right, and then because they got help from Epic sort of just pushed it out. And the thing that they did faster than Player Unknowns was they put it on the console, and it was free to play, and anyone could play it, and it gave people that, you know, what they wanted.
I think
from
the mechanics. Like not just the shooting, but the rest of the mechanics translated to console easier than
See,
PUBG.
Now the thing is though, isn't that just the we fucked up our game and people aren't going to be playing it that much longer, so let's make Battle Royale?
Probably.
That's what H1Z1 did.
Yeah, but the difference is that they sort of beat H1Z1 and Players Unknown Battlegrounds. They beat them in player numbers because they came to consoles first, and it was a free game. So it's literally that's what Fortnite is now. It is just that game mode.
PUBG didn't go to console because they were like...
they were trying to get there. Like, they had problems.
It was, oh, we've earned a lot of money. We could probably afford to port this to consoles now and make more money. I think that's the only reason PUBG is on consoles.
Yeah. Well, anyway, next game that I wanted to talk about, I had such high hopes for. Fucking Strafe.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Strafe. Do you remember that fucking video?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
That advert was fucking amazing.
Wasn't it?
I was like, I'm sold.
Wasn't it? And I played it for like 4 hours, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck this game. Like,
Played it for less than 2.
yeah, it's It
Probably would have only played it for 1.
It was like, okay, this is what I want. It's like a Quake arena shooter, like roguelike.
But
Like,
it wasn't.
but it wasn't.
That's what they said. Like all the advertising, all the stuff was like, this is what this game is. And it wasn't. It was just a subpar...
Clusterfuck.
fucking, yeah. Randomly generated nonsense.
Yep.
Peachy, didn't you go and play Quake after that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had a lot more fun.
Such a cool game.
Yeah, they had some pretty interesting ideas with this one. Like, for example, they had like mechanics where certain enemies would drop like poison on the ground or like whatever, and the way you get rid of it is by smearing it with blood of the enemies and stuff. And
Do you know what hurt that game? The random generation. If they built level,
if it was just
enemy
like
waves.
I agree with you 100. Like if they had a game mode where it was like, okay, here's our custom made campaign, but here is a version of it like randomly generated. You know, like it would have been better, but I don't know.
So if that excited you, Henley, Dusk. Take a look at Dusk, because Dusk is basically what Strafe promised.
Okay.
But it's in episodes at the moment, early access, blah blah blah. But check that out.
Okay, I'll take a look. And I think this one is no surprise to anyone. But fucking the biggest garbo of the year, Battlefront 2.
Yay!
Like, okay,
Yay!
so in order to here's what happened. In order to play the beta, you need to have early access or get a code. And I spent $1.50 on buying an early access code. So that I could play the the beta. I'm just going to call them demos from now on. Now, the gameplay was fucking excellent. And this was around the time when everyone was like, oh man, this game's going to be so good. No one knew about the fucking bullshit that was in there, right? No one knew about the bullshit, and everyone was like, fuck yeah, get me in there. I'm ready to go. Now, the game is fundamentally, like gameplay-wise, great. You play it, it feels good. Shooting dudes feels great. It feels fantastic.
It looks and sounds like Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. They've always done a really good job. It's like Battlefield 1, but for Star Wars. That's exactly what it is. It's that game. And it's great. The problem... So I played one class the entire time, and I was sitting there confused. I played it for like 10 hours, and I was sitting there confused. I was like, why the fuck is my dude not leveling up? Why are people that I'm playing not leveling up? So the game has this mechanic in there where in order for you to level up your characters, you need to open up a loot box, get an item for that character randomly, and hope it's better than the stuff you currently have, because that will increase your level. In fact, that level of your character means that you can equip more cards to your character, which is what you get from the loot box. And those cards allow you to be stronger and have better stuff.
So loot boxes are required to level up.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean by pay to win. This is literally 100% pay to win.
Pay even more to actually progress in the video game.
That's right. You cannot progress your multiplayer characters, no matter how much you play. If you played for 10 hours and only got loot for like a couple of dudes, and we're talking like you get heroes, you get like 4 different classes, you get like spaceships. There's like 8 of them. Like, you can get any of that shit from there. You can also get like skins and crap, right? So you're not always guaranteed to get like stuff that levels up your dude. So it was I couldn't believe it. It was the hottest trash I've ever seen come out of a fucking I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It was like the goal on fucking EA to make a game where it's required for you to do that shit.
And now they've had to take that out.
Yeah.
Most of the content that they created is not there, that you can't fucking get to.
But what's fucking the most hilarious about this is they have a great game. This game is great. It plays well. It plays fantastic. It hits the nostalgia boner that you want. But they single-handedly shot it in the back with this one stupid mechanic.
Which probably wasn't even put there by the devs. It was EA going, hey, money? We like money.
So what it actually was, and I did a little research on this, like they have this pattern, right? They have a pattern about microtransactions, and they wanted to try it out. They wanted to see that 2017 for EA was a year of attempting to micromanage microtransactions in a way that allowed them to effectively make more income from the games that they've already released. They tried it out. You might have seen it originally with like Mass Effect. I think it was 2. This is when they started doing this stuff, where they had like multiplayer stuff.
Dead Space 3.
Was it Dead Space 3 the first one? I know it was. Yeah. I know Mass Effect had a multiplayer part of it, which was like that as well.
I've never played the multiplayer.
And it was very similar to that, and they just sort of doubled down on it, and they've effectively killed a game. Like the game came out and they effectively killed it. The other thing that I want to point out about this game was they had one of the selling points, one of the marketing points they had was, yo, you can play, and I'm sorry for spoilers, but let's be honest, no one's ever going to buy this game, right? No one's ever going to buy it. But this is technically a spoiler for the single player. You can play the bad guys. You get to play, the campaign is 100% Empire and it's canon, right? That was the two marketing points that they had. Exactly, right? It sounds fucking awesome. Mission 2, you swap to the rebel side when you work out that the Empire's bad.
So,
and it's canon! And it's canon!
I think everyone knows how I feel about Star Wars.
Yeah, I think
like
we do.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll wait. I'll see, because of the last one and the bullshit that they did with that, there wasn't any content. I thought when this one was announced, I'll wait, see how it goes, and then maybe buy it. And it looked great. I watched Brand Voto play it, and it felt Star Wars. I was like,
sounded great, right? It had all the like the
sounds are really
the
important.
game stuff that the developers made looks like a really good game.
And the best part about it was that the actual like they had ship-to-ship combat missions, and those were really fun, right? Flying around in like a TIE fighter. And
yeah, I caught a lot of that. And then you can get the hero ship, can't you? You can get the Falcon.
You can get the Falcon. But here's the best part.
God, that's so cool.
When you have the Falcon, you can hear like, and even if you don't have the Falcon, you can hear like Han Solo and Chewie like talking to each other about like shit that's going on around you. It was so good. It was just like, that's exactly what I want from a Star Wars game. Right? I don't want to play the heroes. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want to be in the same room as them and just sort of soak in what they do, you know? Like,
I want to be in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be a fucking hero.
It looks like that game would do that, but with all that bullshit, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, no, don't get it.
Who the fuck's going to buy it at this point?
Don't buy it. It was trash.
Can I just say, I wasn't looking forward to it. I didn't think it was going to be very good. I didn't play it. I barely watched anything on it. And also, the Star Wars franchise has had 2 good movies out of 8, so who cares?
Yeah, and to be fair, like I actually really enjoyed my time in the early access stuff. It's okay. He'll be back. He
needs to pee. It's
needs
fine.
to pee. Yeah, he frustration piss.
He didn't mean it.
It's okay. I'll cover myself in Star Wars paraphernalia later. But my time with the beta was great. That was probably $1.50 well spent, as far as I'm concerned.
By the way, I am wearing 4 items of Star Wars clothing right now.
I honestly didn't think if I didn't
5.
if I didn't experience it myself, right? The whole shit show that was Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't think I would have believed it. You know, I don't think anyone would ever make a game like that, but here we are, 2017.
I figured that they would have learned from the first one, and this would be the good one.
Well, the problem with the first one is there was just nothing to unlock.
Yeah.
Like
there was no content.
And if you pre-ordered the game, you got fucking the DL-44, which is the best gun. That was the highest tier one that you can unlock, and that's it. Like, you didn't have to do anything in that game anymore. That was the problem. Battlefield games have been like, oh yeah, unlock literally the entire world. But obviously they never looked at the Star Wars role-playing game for the guns, because there's shitloads of them in there. Anyway. Garbage of the year. Well, that was... What a way to start off the show with disappointments, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's move on to the biggest surprises, yeah? So I think up first, let's go to Peachy.
PP8?
Yeah, PP8.
Have you still got Twitch? Have you still got my name as that?
No.
Oh, god damn it.
So what was your first biggest surprise?
Okay, so when I say surprises, these aren't games that are like, oh my god, that was amazing. I'm just surprised for one reason or another. My first surprise is for a game I fucking hate, but I play a lot of because I kind of have to, is Ark's DLC Aberration. And I can't believe I'm saying that.
It looked pretty cool, I gotta say.
I mean, so go ahead and tell us why you're surprised though, because like I'm honestly interested in to hear, because you know I've seen your streams on your thing and it looks like it runs like hot trash on your computer. Like
it's because so I exclusively play Ark. I have played it offline a little bit, but I exclusively play Ark as a role play vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
That's exclusively because that's the game that people use to role play. And I love role playing. I love using a game to role play. I prefer it to be a different one, but this is the one that has won. So whatever. I've played original Ark and Ragnarok. I hate this game, and I own all the fucking DLC for it.
It's hard not to own all the DLC for this game.
Because they don't have any. Okay, so I played the game. I hate the way they do. What is it called? Engrams. I hate everything. I hate the crafting. I hate the core gameplay mechanic. I hate the map. I hate the design of most of the stuff. The map for Aberration is amazing. It's so good, and the way that you can tell if you're, in the other Ark, you just wander into a bad place and you're dead. In this, the level design is so good. You're like, ooh, I've gone into something very different here.
Yeah.
I'm in a bad place.
You can tell by the lighting effects whether or not you're in a safe place or a fucking get me out of here.
I think this is one of the best designed survival game maps ever, because you know where you are, not because of the enemies you're coming across, but because the level design makes you realize you're in some hot shit.
So it's also one of the biggest maps that they've released as well.
Is it?
Yeah, like it's fundamentally larger across ways, but it's also like vertical as well.
Yeah, there's levels, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
You can even get to the top in some places.
So there's a surface you can get to, which is filled with radiation from the sun. Deep down, there's radiation from God knows what, and then in the middle, there's a place where these things called is it nightmares? Is that what they are?
What are they called? Those glowing...
No, the things that come out of the ground. I forget what they're called. But
yeah, and they group up.
They group up on you, and they basically attack you. And the only way that you can fundamentally avoid that is by having...
bulb dogs.
Bulb dogs, or any sort of enemy... a dinosaur that emits charge, or light. Whatever you want to call it. I played a little bit of it.
Yeah, so you're playing on super hardcore mode.
Yeah, which is like the hardest difficulty shit can get, and that game reamed me pretty hard because of it. But
it's pretty hard. I think that difficulty. So, usually when you play a roleplay server, everything's not done for you, but your gather rates are up. Everything is up and higher, so you can get going and start your story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when they started this one, because they started it the second the DLC released, they were like, no mods. Let's get a server running, so we don't screw it up with mods, and we'll test them along the line because we don't have time. So I actually had to play Ark while I was doing the roleplay thing. I actually had to play Ark. No, they did speed up the level increase, so because that's just standard for a roleplay thing. But I had fun playing Ark for the first time since I've ever turned that game on. I had fun because. It's that map. It is that map. It's so sci-fi. Like all the animals glow and stuff. I actually cared about what I was doing because the setting just kind of sucked me in. And I actually, for the first time ever, enjoyed certain aspects of playing Ark. So for a game that I hate, a DLC that makes me actually have fun doing the base game, that's a big surprise for me. That is a big.
All right. Well, what is your second surprise, my man?
My second surprise was Tekken 7.
Nice.
The surprise was they didn't screw up my Tekken game. It's still classic Tekken. I thought that they'd screw it. I really did. Like, I'm a little cynical. It could be said. And the Street Fighter X Tekken, the one based in the Street Fighter mechanics, was terrible.
That's the one where you could. Is Tekken's the one where you can go like outwardly, right? Like in a circle.
So the main mechanic of Tekken is you have control of all your limbs,
and it's juggling. It's all juggles and stuff. Yeah.
And I've been a fan of Tekken. I don't know since maybe not 1 or 2, but definitely 3 grabbed me.
So you were playing on the PC?
Yes, I was playing PC, which ran really well, like streaming. But fighting games do, they can make it pretty nice and still run well.
There's not a lot to like making those look nice, right? Like they don't have to put too much effort in.
Yeah.
Compared to other three-dimensional games, I guess.
Yeah,
but
if you're doing an open world, you got to do a lot of workarounds.
Yeah. So when it comes to like all the other parts of a fighting game, which is like the net connectivity, the connection stuff. All that sort of shit. Like, how did that all get wrapped up?
Everything across the board was good. I wouldn't say network connectivity was great, but I didn't notice that. I did drop before loading into a game once or twice, but not very much. I didn't notice any lag, any hits not responding. It felt like I was playing a video game on my couch with a mate.
Okay. Well, that's good, I guess.
Unlocks, they weren't fucking loot boxes. They might be now because it's 2017.
Yeah.
But I was unlocking shit all over the place. You get like loads of cash from winning fights or even losing fights, and you can unlock stuff. And you can make your character look like a fucking idiot if you want.
Nice.
The customization was great. But the main thing was the controls, the mechanics, the fighting mechanics. It was Tekken.
Gamepad?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
I played it with a gamepad, not with a fight stick. Don't play a fighting game with a keyboard. Just don't do it.
Yep.
It's just not worth it. I wouldn't say that it's up there with one of my best games of the year, but I was really surprised that it was good.
And in terms of story, from like when I think of fighting games and story, I think of Mortal Kombat X. Is that what it was? The one with like the interconnected, like the story just moves straight into like a fighting scene sort of thing.
The single player mode was trash, but they always are in Tekken's. But it did attempt to just move you through characters and stuff. I didn't have fun. I didn't complete the single player.
Right.
I was just, let's get the basics, multiplayer, because that's where fighting games are fun for me. Playing against someone.
All right.
Mono with mono.
What's the next one you got for us, my man?
Wait up. Shadow Warrior 2.
Really?
Didn't even know it was released.
Basically, it wasn't Shadow Warrior. I wouldn't say I hated it. I wouldn't say it was a terrible game. It wasn't Shadow Warrior. Like, I played the first one and it was insane. It was just it was like when I played the original Doom clone style ones. It was just stupid. A couple of the jokes were funny. Most of the jokes were just either poor taste or just didn't hit the mark.
You got a little wang inside you.
Yeah. But that's what you expect from a Shadow Warrior game. And they kind of had that in Shadow Warrior 2, but now it was a grinding MMO looter shooter.
Wait, what? It had like looting mechanics in it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Blizzard.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blizzard.
If the guns were, like one of my favorite looter shooters is Borderlands, you just get guns thrown at you. This gun shoots unicorns that explode into pasties. It's ridiculous, right?
Why did
This,
you...
like, you get...
I don't remember that one, but yeah.
It probably exists, dude. But, like, you pick up a gun, it's like, oh, this one has 0.5 better attack speed. This gun gives a little bit of lifesteal. It wasn't like, there are games
You're not shooting barrels at them all of a sudden and doing cool things. It's like...
There's nothing like that, which is fine, because a lot of games do that, and you, like, pick up a gun, you're like, ooh, this one gives me more damage, but this one gives me extra move speed. There's a bit of a choice there. It was just like, oh, this gun's a fraction bit better, and you have to equip it, otherwise you're not going to progress in the game. It was boring.
Yeah.
It was just boring. And again, it wasn't like, oh, this is bad, terrible game. It was just, this is a disappointment. I was expecting, if they just remade the first one, I would probably been okay with that.
So what was surprising about this, though?
Because I played...
Because I played it. Look, guys, I'm surprised as well, you know? Like...
he was sleepwalking, he bought it, he started playing, just woke up, he was like, shit!
So the first one is a standard shooter game. You don't have this loop mechanic. You run through, it's stupid, it's fun. This one was uninspired. Like, they tried to do something different, but they didn't try hard enough. They kind of went, oh, let's try something, but let's just make it safe. And I don't want that from a Shadow Warrior game. It's like Wolfenstein. Just go to balls to the wall to it. Don't give me a gun that gives me 0.02 larger radius for explosions. I don't care about that. You equip a gun in something like Borderlands. I keep going to Borderlands, but this is my reference.
I only
make
play
a
one
difference.
game.
But no, that's as far as I'm concerned, that's up there for looter shooters for me. That's what my favorite looter shooter is. So that's where I compare all games to. But if you change guns in that, you know you've changed guns. There is some heavy differences.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, it was like, looks different.
I don't know. When you keep talking about Borderlands 2 and how amazing the looter mechanics are in that, I was like, fuck off, man. You get one gun and you stick with it for like 90% of the game in a lot of cases with that game because every gun you find is just trash.
You find a lot of trash, but that's the loot pinata. It didn't even really have a loot pinata kind of thing.
That game for me was going to
burst out.
That game was going to the fucking town and using those stupid keys on that box, and that was the only place you got decent loot from. Everything else was fucking garbage.
If I picked up something that was different, which happened a lot because it threw so many guns at you, you try it and you knew you were shooting a different gun. Everything about it was different. With this, no, it was basically the same gun. Just like if you're gonna put looter mechanics into it, go that way, or just don't do it. Just don't do it. Give me a gun that scales.
All
and
right.
concentrate on the gunplay.
Sheepdog, my man.
I spelt my first one wrong. It's Starpoint, not Starpoint.
Ah, no wonder I couldn't find it.
Oh, Waller's Gemini.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Warlords, Gemini. What is this game? Why was this surprising for you?
Sci-fi.
It kind of popped out of nowhere for me, and...
Oh, I thought this was the Mark Hamill fucking thing.
No, it's fucking beautiful for a start, which really helps with a sci-fi game.
Spaceship porn.
Yeah, it's kind of... Did he review... Has anyone played Battlezone?
The mech shooter? Or
the one where you're in a tank and you're flying around the moon and you fight the Russians and you build your base. Like on the... You know,
why does the main character look like fucking Chuck Norris?
I don't ask. It's Battlezone is like a first-person shooter where you can go strategy, and you can it's got a bit of command and conquer in it.
See, that's what I thought that game was. Right?
Yeah, this is what that's like. Like you have your ship, you can fly around and fight, but you also have a base. You can build resource gathering buildings. You can explore, you can fight, you can build ships to follow you. Like, it's a good game. And I was really surprised because I had no fucking clue what it was and no expectations for it. Which is good. Like, don't give me expectations because I'll hate your game.
Yeah. That's pretty much how 2017 sums up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hype the fuck out of your game and then disappoint everyone.
Or make a really good game and don't advertise it. Lawbreakers.
I
don't know. That game sounds like trash to me, to be honest with you.
But no, it was... I think the most important thing about it was... one of the things I loved about EVE Online was just the ambience of it and flying around in space and just chilling.
Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the Excel stuff, when you're just like... flying through space and you got the spacey music and you can just like look out into space.
It feels sci-fi.
Yeah, and that's what this game is. It's basically fly around space, don't do much, but just enjoy yourself, just chill out. And that's what I did for hours.
So the thing about space games that get me is I always get like turned upside down. I always get I always try and find like a horizon, and that always gets me. I always get fucked up when I try and like if I turn and then I can't, my brain just goes and just shits itself because there's no horizon anymore, you know what I mean?
It's a little bit of that. It's not too bad, I didn't find it. But...
what was that game that did... It was like...
Narcom was pretty good on that game to sort you out.
Okay, alright, well that's good. Because there was one game like last year, there was like cowboy music, or like rockabilly music.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just all on a flat dimension, but it was still a space game.
What the fuck is in that name of that?
Yeah,
I didn't like that because of the flat.
You didn't like that? I didn't like it because it was like a roguelike, but... Yeah.
I felt like I was floating on the sea. And it was a pirate ship game, which would be cool. You know, that game as a pirate ship game would have been cool. But
I know the one.
You know the one we're
I-
talking about,
yeah, I know
and
the one
you like you just travel like super quick through space, and it doesn't matter. Like space
I
is
mean,
irrelevant.
it was an attempt to make a Firefly game without being Firefly.
Yeah. But so what was the biggest surprise from this game though? Ultimately,
Just the fact that I hadn't ever heard of it,
and it just surprised you when it
and
came
yeah,
out.
I just enjoyed it. It was just like, bam, good, solid
I
game,
thought it was a good game.
good looking.
I did find making money a bit difficult in that because once you lost your fleet, you were like, I'm not at square one. I'm at square -2.
Well, you just pick, like, there were a few issues I had with it, like the goods that you could get seemed pointless. You know, it could have just been like random object A, random object B, sell them at B and take them to
quests, the side quests were cookie cutter, weren't they?
Yeah. But you know,
the environment, and you were in space.
It makes up for it.
Felt like you were in space.
The difference maybe between, like, for you, Peachy, Destiny 2 and this is that when you're going to your quest, when you do your quest, and when you're just going around doing the grinding, you have fun because it's in space and it's always interesting to look around, and you know, and then you have space battles, which are always
big space battles,
and you get like upgrading ships.
All right. So what's your next one there? Biggest second surprise?
Forts.
Oh
Yeah.
I forgot about that game.
This is like looking at it right now. I'm just like, oh, this is Worms.
Yeah, kind of.
Except I can't play Worms anymore because I'm so burnt out on Worms.
Well, you couldn't.
They made the same game for like 19 years, man.
I utterly destroyed Peachy.
Yeah, he did. It was fun, though.
It's such a fun. It's like physics mechanics. You build a fort.
Yeah, it kind of. I'm looking at it. Kind of looks like
builder with weapons.
Well, I was gonna say World of Goo, but like that works too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you put like gun platforms in it and shields, and you have to respond. Like me and Peachy just played against each other, and we had a shit ton of fun playing it. To be honest, like it was.
So what was surprising about it though? Like
it didn't.
Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I mean, there are games that is that game. You know what I mean? Like there are games that are just that game.
But like I went into it thinking, maybe we'll just make fun of it.
This is just gonna be a crappy indie game. We'll get us, a couple of games.
But we just kept dicking about with it, and there were times when we just enjoyed actually building, and we weren't attacking each other.
Yeah, we had like a ceasefire.
yeah, which you broke, but
Is there like a? Is there any sort of single player mechanics?
He built a huge fucking cannon, and then he fired at me and missed. I was like, "Did you shoot at me?" He's like, "It was an accident."
I didn't mean to do that. I mean, I didn't mean to miss.
So if we don't have our own personal British man to throw cannonballs at, like what else does it have? Is it single player? Like what else is in there?
Yeah, the only bad thing about it is there was no real AI or.
Oh, that's. I mean, like even Worms had AI. I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
No, like that's why it's not in like.
But they're not very clever.
No, they're not. Like,
there was a really old game, like really, really, really old game, which was like you had a gun turret or a tank or something in the world, and you had like 5 or 6 people in it, and you fire and you try and like. Oh god, what was that called? It was super old, and this is just reminding me of that. Really.
There are a few. There's been a few games like that.
But there's more mechanics, and it's a small indie game, and it's cheap.
Yeah, you start off.
You could buy it with like your mate as well as you, and you still wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money.
You start off with like mortars and machine guns, and end up with giant cannons and lasers that like set half the base on fire.
And you have like wooden platforms and then metal platforms.
Yeah. Shields. And, it's tiny. It's a tiny little game that's really, really cheap, and it's a lot of fun to piss about with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Or a mortal enemy who betrays you.
All right.
The Salt.
So what's your next one?
Anti-Hero. Everyone knows that game.
Oh, is that the? It's like a board game thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I actually this was on my list for a while, but after Gremlins, was it Gremlins?
Gremlins.
It kind of reminded me too much of Gremlins a little bit.
Did you get war flashbacks? Because I remember the rage you had for Gremlins.
That's because you just didn't tell anyone how to play the fucking game.
Everyone else figured out how to play the game.
No, we didn't know how to win the game.
We didn't know how to win the game, and you
don't win. You don't win.
You're
that
just
game.
Exactly. When you play with a sheepdog, you never
points.
win. Yeah, you never win. But yeah, tell me about this. Why is this game a surprise to you?
For all of them, really, it was just like I didn't know about them, and then I played it, and I was like, "Shit, that's fun." You know, it's nice. It's nice to find games randomly in 2017, and they actually not be terrible.
So far, it seems like every single one of your games is like indie titles that just like I had no idea were a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of simplistic but solid, and it's very board gamey, which I'm never disappointed by games that are board game style, to be honest. They always seem to be very, like Armello, very solid.
I love Armello.
Wait, Armello wasn't out this year, was it?
No, but they keep releasing stuff. Like they just released a...
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count, yeah.
No.
Armello's fun. Armello's a good time. But
Yeah.
So, aside from, like, it seems like there's a lot of, like, you uncover the board and all that sort of stuff. And
I don't know if you've ever played games like Gangsters 2.
No.
Where you take over portions of the map, and they start producing things, and you make more kind of minions, and you basically have strategic points on the map. You can go and like rob places, and then some places are specifically you can build up like your ability to tech up, I guess, and things like that. And yeah, it's just a solid strategy board game basically. The difficulty is never too high. It takes you into it fairly, you know, like it eases you into the gameplay, so you never feel out of depth. And I just basically got through the whole game like, yeah, fuck yeah, it's a fun game. So yeah, I don't have any complaints about it, and I had a lot of fun with it. So for a game I'd never heard of, it was very impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, let's move on to. I mean, my surprises. Like this is one of the. Okay, let's.
When you say surprise for this first one, is it the Switch?
Okay, so my first surprising game of the year was Doki Doki Literature Club. Literature.
I think that surprised everyone.
This game, what surprised me the most about it was that it's an advert for their next game.
I didn't get that far in. I played 4 hours.
No, I mean like so where it comes down, like there's the part that's surprising me is there's a community on Reddit for this game. So in case you don't know what this game is, so basically it is a game about, it's a light visual novel about dating 4 girls basically inside of a anime after school club, right? And it gets a little fucky halfway through. That's all I'm gonna say.
Does it? Does it get a little fucky?
Just a little fucky.
Just a little
fucky. So I would suggest going to play it. It's only like 4 hours. You can get through it pretty quickly.
And it's free.
Right? So I'm not going to explore, tell you what the fucky part is, but there is a whole subreddit community on Reddit, which is about like breaking down the ARG that is this game, because it is an ARG. There's like hidden meaning messages and all that sort of shit, and if you put things in and take things out, because it's one of those games where like it plays with the folder structure of the game as you're playing with it, and it does certain stuff. So if you go in there and you change things, or you open things up and do other things and read decimals and all that sort of shit, it actually ends up being like an advert for their next game, which is fucking amazing. Like it really is just like, I sat there and just like, oh, okay, why is everyone talking about this fucking stupid anime bullshit? Sounds like a peachy game. But honestly, it was like just mind-boggling. They did a really
It's
good
actually
job.
quite well written.
Yeah,
And
to a degree.
It delves into a lot of anime VN tropes. Apparently, I've played enough VNs now that I know tropes. But then it's it.
Sorry, that was rude.
it subverts your expectations because of that as well.
Yeah.
If you're not talking about this, I didn't even know there was a meta for this.
You should look it up. There's actually a couple of videos on explaining it. And you, I bet you 100% that you're gonna watch and just be like, "Fucking what?" Like there is so much to this game, considering what it is and how long it is and how.
I will say if you're gonna stream it, it's gonna take you a long time to get to the stuff. But if you play it by yourself, it's gonna go a lot quicker.
Why is that? Because you read it.
Because interacting with chat, reading stuff out, having fun with it. It's not. I wouldn't say it isn't a stream game, but I think if you're just playing it offline,
I tend to go, does it have voice acting in it? Yes, no. If the answer is no, it's not a streaming game because I don't want to sit there and read every fucking thing.
I mean, I've played VNs on my stream.
Yeah, but you're an anime
it does
weeaboo
take
piece
a
of
long-
shit. Like,
I do voices. I do voices, and it
I'm
kills
sorry.
my throat.
Which two of us here have played Dream Daddy? Oh!
Henley, hand up.
I played it for 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
No, you played it for about an hour.
I played it for
Sucked
10
into
minutes.
that game, bro.
No, you just lost the footage on the first one.
I had the footage. It didn't have my voice on it.
That's true. Which is a shame because it was fucking hilarious.
It was, yeah. But yeah, that was my first surprise. I would recommend going to play that. Like, just go do it. Go download it right now. It's definitely a great thing.
I would like to point out it is actually well written.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, for what a drama
I mean-
in high school can be, you know. But
yeah, but
is
the
it-
way it subverts, I think it's really clever.
yes, it is. Yeah.
Is it as well thought out and as story deep as Five Nights at Freddy's? That's the question.
I mean, does Five Nights even have a story?
I don't know, who fucking cares.
Oh, it's got some crazy meta going on in the background. That guy is a lunatic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Watch videos on that.
my next game that's literally just surprised the absolute fucking shit out of me. Like, Wildlands. Do you guys remember this game from the E3 show that we had? And
I've
everyone
not
was
seen
like,
much
"Yo,
about it.
what the fuck is this trash?" Like,
I don't think
It's
I
a
was in
survival
that
game,
one.
right? With
no, it's not a survival game. It really isn't. Like, I mean, it has very light survival elements. It's like once a day you have to eat a thing, and that's it. Like,
it's a crafting game, right?
it is more like if aesthetics had a video game, it would be this game. You know what I mean? Like,
I like the aesthetic. It's like this low poly, flat texture.
but it's not almost that. Like, so here's the thing, right? I was playing this game. I was like, we'll give it a go. I'm bored. Let's see what's happened. I remember this game from E3. I started playing it, and I was like, okay. So I'm collecting all these flowers and all this trash, and I walk along the beach, and I'm like, I don't really get what this game is. And then I found a hut, and inside the hut was like a saw and like an axe or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I started hitting things, and then I went and opened up the crafting tab, and what actually came of it was, okay, so I built a knife because I thought I needed a knife for a weapon, but it turns out that was a crafting mechanic. And what it does is you build the knife, and then it like shows you everything that you can make out of literally the stuff you have in your inventory. And what happened was it's just humongous fucking crafting table opens up. Like, I mean, absolutely humongous. To the point where you could like build a house and then spend like fucking days just filling it up with knickknacks and making it look awesome. And I was like, wow, this is actually pretty interesting. And what I spent all of my time doing was building a fucking boat, like building a huge boat in the game, because I love fishing game mechanic things, and that's what I ended up doing. I ended up spending a lot of time working towards that. And as I was doing it, I ran into the problem of like, okay, things aren't snapping together anymore, so let's, investigate the mechanics a little bit more. And you could take an item and you could like push it into anything else, like clip it into something else and just staple it into the world. So you can build whatever you want. There's no limitations on like boat sizes or mechanics or anything like that. And the entire time it's just calm, peaceful music. Like if you run and jump a lot, your guy will start skipping along the ground. It's just like the game was just really, really calming, and it was really, really surprising to hear it. The reason why, yeah, no, you should definitely check it out because there's a lot more to it. Like you can dig into the ground and find like huge cabins and tunnels and shit. The part that I spent the most effort on was I built a boat, and then I got on the boat and I started sailing, and the world is populated by like little islands. That's what the survival game is right now. It's just little islands everywhere. So you can get on a boat, you can drive with the wind. It's not like you just drive wherever you want. It's like the wind takes you to different places. And it was just absolutely just crazy how much fun I had just relaxing.
Was it an experience?
Yes, I would definitely say very immersive, very relaxing experience. Like I actually played it for like probably close to 20 hours, and it's in early access, and it's just like there's nothing in there, but it's just fun to the fun for the game came for me was like finding out what I needed to mix together with what tools in order to make a thing. You know, like the crafting table is very, very large for a game of how early it is, and I don't know. It was just an immersive experience. I had a good time with it.
While you were talking about fishing, it reminded me of another surprise fishing world.
Fishing world.
Yeah, free to play MMO fishing game.
Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It was quite chill. I had a bit of fun with that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was that game was super surprising for me. And the last one, which surprised the absolute buggery out of me. I couldn't believe it at the time
because it was named after a game that it wasn't.
Yeah, pretty much. Is fucking Prey. Like, now I played enough of Prey. I didn't finish it because other games came out, like The Surge and some other things like that. That like around that time, tons of games just sort of just went and just came out of nowhere.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow.
So for me specifically, Prey was like I played the original. The original was like a mindfuck game, I would say. Right? There's like portals, like you run around a small planet shooting giant aliens, and it was kind of like Duke Nukem in a way. But this one was more like, I guess, what?
Prop Hunt.
Not kind of like Prop Hunt, but more like BioShock. Yeah. It was like BioShock meets Prop Hunt in a lot of ways. So that's what I thought about the game.
It was very different to Prey.
It was very different, and I appreciated it. And I spent a lot of time, like, for example, there are things in the game where you can be like, oh, there's a key in that room over there that opens the door to the room that the key's in. How do I get the key? You can like use like, so there's a couple things in the game, like you can take the black goop and put it in your body and get black goop powers. But the moment you do that is the moment that all the security stuff in the world like turns on you because you're an alien now, basically. So if you don't have the powers, you have an easier time getting around the game and all that sort of stuff. But then you don't get to do things like, break open windows or levitate stuff over to you or whatever you want to do with that stuff. And it's just insane the amount of stuff that you can do. Like you can get a foam dart gun and you can shoot it through a hole in the window to like turn on hit a lever that opens a door into a room that you can't get into. Like that game was super fucking surprising. Like it really was.
I saw reviews and playthroughs and stuff is that people complained it was a bit short.
It was getting to that point. I think I maybe put like 15 hours in it before I was about maybe 3/4 of the way through. But I was doing everything. I was taking my time exploring all that sort of stuff. But I never finished it though. I should go back to it. But that game was very surprising for me. Very, very surprising.
I feel like maybe they made a different game and then somebody was selling the Prey name and they stuck it on.
I really wish they made that original Prey sequel where you were the same guy, just now stuck in space because you can't get back to Earth and you were a bounty hunter. Like, can I have that game? Like, I really wanted that game. That would have been great.
What, instead of this one that you
They
got?
shouldn't have named this Prey.
They-
From
they-
what I can tell, I've not played it.
There was no reason for it to be called Prey. Like, it could have been literally anything else, and it would have been the same game. Like, having the Prey name didn't do anything for it.
All they had to do was change the names of the aliens. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Well,
it did look good, yeah.
yeah, it's a great game for sure. So, now moving on to future releases, because 2017 wouldn't be the year it is if we weren't already looking ahead to something better.
Looking ahead in 2017.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna miss that meme, guys.
what meme?
Miss it. When you just say something in 2017, that's literally the only meme. You just add 3 words to the end of any sentence.
I don't think that's a meme. I think that's just.
It's a meme.
I'm
the
telling you.
truest
I'm
sense
telling
of the
you, it's a
word.
meme. Telling you,
It's
it's a
a
meme.
meme.
It's a
I'm
meme.
telling you. Meme.
All right, Peachy, what's up? What are you looking forward to in 2018?
Okay, so first one, Surviving Mars. It's a Paradox game. It's sci-fi. It's a city builder. It ticks all my boxes, and I'm super hyped to play this game.
Oh yeah, did you like the Civilization space game?
No.
No one did. No one did. You could play Space Australia in that game, but no one liked it.
I'm just not into Civ games.
I mean, that's.
They're more strategy than city builders.
Did you enjoy that? Oh, what's that one? Where it's all about trading and stuff, and they had like a future version of it.
Off-world trading?
No.
Oh, no, Anno.
Anno. Yeah. Did you like Anno, the 2077 or whatever it was? Like.
Yeah, I like that one. There's a new one coming out which nearly went on this list, but there's other things that went on before that.
I really like Anno, but like
I didn't want to put that on the list as well as Survive because I'm way more looking forward to Surviving Mars. It's made by Paradox.
So
All
is
right,
that the only thing that
smash it out of the park.
you've got going? Like is that the only thing why you're excited because it's a Paradox game?
Well,
PG...
I like city builders. I love sci-fi, like sci-fi city builders. That's like Planet Base, pretty good. Could have done with a bit more stuff to it. There's another one which I'm not going to bring up because that's on my top 5 list, which was really good. And this one looks like it's kind of a mixture of those two, and a bit of Anno, but it's got more in it from what I can tell. It's like the only things I've seen are quite early access. Also Paradox, if you want to send me a key for that, I'm okay with that.
Paradox, send me all of your keys. I play all of your games. I've lost a lot of money.
Paradox is one of those companies that whatever they make, okay, it may be small, it may not be as wide scoping as other games, but you know that it's good. Everything that's in that game is...
they own White Wolf Publishing now, so it could be they have some pretty good IPs now. Yeah. I'm really interested to see what they do with if a new Vampire the Masquerade comes out, role-playing game. We'll see.
But I do like city builders. When you add that sci-fi, like City Skylines, not a Paradox city builder.
That one was okay. I got real caught up in the fucking like roads. Like I got real caught up in that. I had to stop playing that game because
look at Paradox's way they release updates. They're like, hey, there's a DLC, but you can get all the extra mechanics for free. I think Paradox are great. I love Paradox. Please send me a key. No, I am super looking forward to that.
All right. So I'm trying to just give me a second here. I'm trying to find. Okay, I think I have it. Okay, go.
System Shock, the remake. It's been announced for next year. I think this was on our future games last year as well.
Yeah, I remember playing the demo they
that.
had for this, and I spawned like a bazillion arms.
So I like the original System Shock. And well, okay. When it came out, I enjoyed it. I've tried to go back to the original System Shock, and it's some clunky piece of shit. It's like going back to Deus Ex. It's a bit clunky.
You go back to Deus Ex because someone talks about Deus Ex. It's the same thing with the.
Gonna install Deus Ex right now.
It's like, I'm actually downloading it right now. No.
It's like going back to GoldenEye.
Oh man, GoldenEye. Oof.
And I love System Shock 2 because it was more modern, and you can go back to that. There are some mods that make it playable again, but if it was just System Shock 1 in that world, and which this one is, this one's going to be great. They seem to really love System Shock, and they were quite stubborn about things, but the way they, I've watched a lot of dev diaries on it, like music and stuff like that, and basically fans are like, hey, we like this stuff about this stuff, and they've, instead of going, oh, no, this is our vision, and also instead of just going, yes, whatever you say, we'll do that, they've kind of gone, we'll take those two with our ideas and your ideas and push them together. It looks like it's going to be a great game. I can't wait to play it.
I would rather them make a more modern version of System Shock 2.
You can play that though.
You can, but I still want like I don't care about the gameplay. The gameplay can stay the same, but I just want the game to like be better on modern systems. You know what I mean? Like
there is a mod for System Shock 1 which I played, which does bring up to date, but it's still got that Doom clone sort of feel.
Yep. Yes, it does. Yeah, it's
and if this goes well, maybe we could get a remake of System Shock 2. Maybe. It's just the BioShock series didn't. I liked them, but it didn't progress what they did in System Shock 2.
You can play the demo right now. There is a demo for this remake out. You can go play it. It's tiny.
Very small.
Very small. It's like 40 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, it's still fun though, I think. Still a fun game. And yeah, the last
just
one.
Thought of another surprise. Mechanics later. Okay. Well,
let me just find this thing, because it's so much like
the same video we've been watching for years.
It is the same video.
Did we have this last year as well?
I'm trying. Here we go. Found it. You may start talking now.
Cyberpunk 2077. Give me the game. Give me the game. Give me the game. I really, really, really want the game. I don't care about Witcher. It was okay. I don't care. Give me Cyberpunk 2077, please. Please.
I don't know, man. Like,
I don't care that you're mistreating people who work for you. I need the game.
So it's a kind of interesting mechanic what they're trying to do now, because I read somewhere that they have a thing where they're like, okay, we want the player to not have to restart the game to change their character choices. So they're just like, what if we take it so that they were a rocker boy and now they're going to be a corp? Like, they're dealing with that sort of shit, and it's all open world, and they got like flying vehicles, which is what the game has, and they got all this weird shit that they're going on. Like, it seems very like they're trying to do too much. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but people said that about Witcher 3. They did
really?
a lot.
Did they say that about Witcher 3?
How much is in Witcher 3? How much shit is in there?
It's a fair amount, but like
the game too much. It's okay.
Witcher 3 wasn't like, the combat was fucking dull. Like
it was better than 1 and 2. I can definitely.
I liked number 1 better.
What, with you move your mouse with the sword action on the character and click it?
Yeah, and being able to like because the combat was more involved in 1, where you could like, the idea being that it wasn't
action based. Is that what you mean? It was a bit more strategic.
Yeah, like, you know, if they were swinging high and low, you'd be able to change. It was like, it reminded me of Jedi Outcast 2 gameplay, sword mechanics.
Love that game.
That's why I like it more, because it was more like, okay, I'm gonna change to high stance and do a combo, and change to low stance and do a combo, and
yeah. There is another game, but this one just trumps it because I want to play it so much.
Well,
the other game would be Grip, which is the remake of Roll Cage, which I've been playing in early access for like years now.
Okay.
Still nothing to it. And
you can talk about it next year.
Yeah, that's next year's game.
I mean, that's not coming out for a while. But then again, I'm going to talk about Cyberpunk next year again, because it's not going to be out this year. This next year.
We'll just rehash this entire video for next year.
Yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. Like, I mean, honestly, there's nothing we can do about that. The games that we want are just going to be the same thing over and over again. All right, Cheapy, what you got for me?
Yes, my first top 3 future releases is A Way Out.
So,
which,
This one was like E3 this year, or was it last year?
Couple. This yeah. It was
right?
in one of the ones we did.
I think it was either this year or last year where we first saw it in E3.
Honestly, this one is much more from a content base. I want to pin someone down and just dick about and have fun being in a prison.
Okay, I thought you were going somewhere else with it. I just want to fuck someone. I just want to fuck someone in prison.
Not gonna lie, I'm very interested and if you can rape someone, like prison gang rape. Let's see if it's in it.
I don't know why you're interested, because obviously that's not going to happen.
But it'd be cool if it did. It's a step. It's a step in the right direction for games.
I don't think we need that in video games.
They had a game like that a while back. It was literally the worst thing in the world.
Wasn't that Lara Croft? Was that the one that
no the one where you could like
that was implied.
Yeah.
Oh,
implied
that game. Yeah, no, I remember the whole hullabaloo in that game. But no, it you know, the whole idea of kind of working to escape a prison with one of your mates.
Yeah,
and,
but
you know,
we all know that they don't like the escaping of the prison is like the first. It's probably the tutorial of the game, because they show a lot more than just that. Like if it was Prison Break the video game and one of you had to read the tattoos on the other guy, I'd be like, yes, give me that game. I would play that.
I'd say if it's half-half, it'll be a good game. Or if there's half or more in the prison figuring out how to escape.
No, it'll be like Battlefront 2. It'll be like Battlefront 2 where you can play as the Empire, right?
I mean,
You're like Wolfenstein. You spend about 4 minutes in the wheelchair.
I wanna preface this, by the way, with I don't think any of these games are going to be good.
You just want to see.
I just want to see them. I just want to know that
Just to preface things, you did say that you wanted to pin a man down and rape him in prison. So, like,
in a game, not in real life.
I mean,
games aren't real.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So yeah, that's. I mean, you know, there's not too much to talk about, really.
No, I mean, we all know that it's not going to be a thing. So
yeah. I'll talk about it next year.
Yeah. All right, what's your next one?
That would be Sea of Thieves.
So, this game is interesting because they had a closed alpha, and a good friend of mine, Backman, and a couple other people played in it. And
did they say it was hot trash?
No, they said it was good. The biggest complaint that they had about the game was that they were stress testing it, and people were complaining that they couldn't play the game. You know, that was the biggest complaint that I've heard from the wild of people breaking NDAs and shit like that. So, I don't know. Sea of Thieves looks like the game that I want it to be. You know, I want to play a pirate game. Because it's a party game. It's not a pirate game. It's not a simulator in any sense of the word. You basically jump into a from what I've seen, of what I've heard, you jump into a world and it's populated by other people. You go to an island, everyone gets a map, right? And then you just follow the map to the island and you find the treasure and you bring it back and you sell it for whatever. And you can party up with randoms, you can party up with people you know. But the idea is that, you know, you're always in a team of 4 or 5 or whatever it is.
I mean, honestly, the fact that it's a sailing/pirate game has me intrigued. I don't think it's going to be a game I will enjoy. I want to play it so that I know I don't like it. And it was actually going to have the other pirate game. You know, the one that we saw in E3, which we were like, wow, what the fuck is this? Where did this come from?
Oh,
it's basically like the Black Flag.
Yeah, no, what was that?
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah. Except for the fact that at the end,
Simulator 2018.
Yeah, that one. Except for right at the end when the Kraken shadow appeared, and I was like, "Fuck you, game! No!"
Why? Do you not like Kraken?
You pirates!
Now with you,
you pirates of the Caribbean! Me
the entire E3. You were fighting like nope.
I was so excited, and then it was just like Kraken.
I don't know. I mean, I like that stuff. That to me, there isn't really a good like, let's just sit on the water for a while type game, you know. And that's why Wildlands was so surprising to me, right? Because it was like it was that, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was also really buggy. So this game, I don't know. Seems like it's right up my alley. It's probably not going to come out on PC for the fucking longest time, since it is a Microsoft exclusive game, you know. So.
But yeah, it seemed alright. I was like, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. So let's talk about your next one.
Honestly, I was really reaching when it came to future releases. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. Metro Exodus.
The train
I
game.
didn't even know this was coming out.
You were on the E3 show with us when this fucking thing was announced.
I was not, I don't think.
No, you both were.
I don't
Really?
remember this at all. It's the Lawbreakers all over again.
Actually, I think Floof might have been with me when we were doing that. Like, it was definitely this year. It was the Xbox One, Xbox show thing. So basically, it's Metro. It seems to be open world, but like you drive a train from one spot to another, and when I say open world, it's like a map that sort of you can just sort of explore and gather loot from and stuff. But yeah, the idea is that your home base is a train.
When I say open world, I mean open world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of enjoyed the other Metro games, and if they're taking it in a slightly different direction, I think that's good.
Well, the Metro games had
What
a
was
fucking...
it you said before we came live?
Huh?
Mixing it with Stalker.
Yeah,
I mean, it basically is Stalker, as far as I'm concerned.
it's not. Even, I mean, you know, they're both FPSs. That's about it.
Yeah. So that's it?
All FPSs,
That's it?
basically.
That's all you wanted to say about Metro?
I don't know that much about it. It just seemed interesting.
Okay.
Huh? It does seem interesting.
I mean, like, this is the thing: is these are future releases. We can't say much about the game. We haven't played them.
Mm-hmm. So I can say something about this next one. Monster Hunter World.
I'll play that when it comes out for sure.
I played the demo, the beta, whatever you want to fucking call it.
And you hated it, right?
No, I wanted to confirm, because here's the thing: I've really wanted to play a Monster Hunter game for the longest fucking time. I have a DS and I have the game, and I started playing it, and I just can't do the controller on the the DS because my hand gets all cramped and shit. So what I wanted to confirm was how easy it would be to play with a controller, like an actual full-size controller. And it's glorious. It's fucking glorious. It really is. The thing that a lot of people were up in arms about the beta, because it was like, oh, you get 9 deaths and you get like all this other shit, and you know, they like the problem with betas, and I'll reiterate this again, this year, demos, betas, whatever you want to call them, they don't give an idea of what the game actually is like. You know, they don't give you an idea of what the actual minutiae of Monster Hunter is. Like, for example, in the actual game, in the beta, you had guns and stuff that you could use, like bows and shit, and they just gave you all the ammo. But in an actual Monster Hunter game, you have to build your ammo or buy it, or whatever it is that you use. And the same thing goes for building armor and building weapons and all that sort of stuff. And there's only three deaths, right? So that's it. Like, the game is a lot harder in the actual full release, and I'm excited about it. I really am. I think it's gonna be great.
So I didn't see much about this, but one of my mods on my Twitch channel, Skyheart, was just posting pictures of it, and I'm like, I have kind of always wanted to play a Monster Hunter game, but they're on, you know, consoles.
Well, here's the thing: you've mentioned you hate grinding. This game is all grinding.
Is it?
Yep. You kill the same monsters over and over and over again to build.
If the core mechanics are good, I don't care about grinding because I'm having fun playing the game, right?
Yeah, but this is the literal Japanese definition of grinding.
Right. Okay.
It's
we're
like
talking Korean grinding.
Yeah, we're talking like kill the same monster 35 times, and then you'll have enough to build, you know, maybe like 3/4 of a armor set that you want to have.
We're talking packed subway train grinding. You mentioned Japan, I had to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's Monster Hunter. I mean, it's coming out on PC. It says January 8th, 28th for PC. I'm like, there's no fucking way it's going to come out on PC at the same time as console. So I'm probably going to have to buy 2 iterations of that fucking game, but you know, whatever at that point.
Why not?
Why not? So yeah, next one. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big Far Cry fan, so Far Cry 5. Come on, baby. Give it to me. Give me that shit.
I'm not a Far Cry fan, but this did look good.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll do a Blood Dragon of this one.
I think this is going to be the Blood Dragon of Far Cry games, though.
No, I want the neon 80s bullshit.
Oh, you want that shit back? Okay. I thought you meant like how tongue-in-cheek is going to be. It's literally about killing fucking
it does look good.
Extremist fucking religious people.
Christians, yeah.
In America. Like, as far as I'm concerned, that's just like, that's the right type of cheese that I want on my Subway sandwich. Thank you very much.
I
did
played...
look interesting at E3.
Yeah, Far Cry 3.
Especially that bit with the Combine Harvest. I was like, yeah, I'll play this.
Yeah, and it has a dog bro in it, man. Dog bros are literally the bros that you want. And the other thing is, too, complete character customization, right? You just play, from what the game is, you just play a sheriff, a young sheriff in the town who, you know, the town's gone to shit. And, you know, you've been cut off from the rest of the world because apparently America's that fucking big and stupid that you take down a cell tower and then everyone starts killing each other. So, but yeah, no, you play a young sheriff. You can customize yourself. It's not Far Cry 3. If I had to put it into perspective,
customize yourself.
You can customize the way you look and all that sort of shit. The entire game is co-op compatible from the very beginning, so you can play with a friend the entire time. Far Cry 3 was the whitewashing the video game. Far Cry 4 was we have lightning in a bottle, let's see if we can do it again. And Far Cry 5 is Far Cry 5 is what if we hate on religious fanatics in America? And I'm fucking so down for that. I'm so down for that shit. It's gonna be great.
See,
it's gonna be a lot of just walking around finding watchtowers, though, right?
Well, I hope not, because that shit needs to die.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But Far Cry kind of invented. Well, Ubisoft.
Like, Far Cry gets a pass for that. Other games,
Ubisoft do only make the one game, don't they?
They really fucking do.
So
like,
this is
it did look. It definitely looked fun. That looked like something.
The whole idea of going into like a base, and then sneaking into it and trying tackling it and all that stuff, that needs to be there. That's Far Cry. Far Cry needs to have that shit.
It also needs to have 80s neon. Just saying.
I mean, it will. But this one will have the yeehaw, and then like a truck will drive over the hill, and you know.
I'm already inventing the DLC in my head. Yeah. Please, come on, Blood Dragon 2.
Well, you know, that's that. My last one that I'm looking forward to, which I'm surprised that Sheepdog, this wasn't on your list.
It's only on consoles, though, isn't it?
Well, no, it's probably going to be a PC thing as well.
They can't just put it on consoles after what happened with the first one.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption Deuce 2. Played the first one, liked it. Got real bored when I got to the Mexico part. Stopped playing it.
Oh my god, that was my favorite part. Walking across into Mexico and the music starts playing.
That part was great, but like
that's one of my favorite moments in video games ever.
But the parts, like the minutiae, like the gameplay after that, like after you get to this new area and it's like, yeah, this is awesome, and then it's just like,
I didn't feel that.
Yeah, no, I felt that big time. But this one here, it stands to be great. The problem with Red Dead Redemption now is like all the stuff that you wanted to be able to do in Red Dead Redemption, like rob a train and shit like that. They kind of had it. They kind of almost got there, but they didn't have it. Right? I want that shit in this one. I just want to exist in the world. You know, I just want to. if I see a train coming, I want to be able to like lasso a horse, tie a lady to that horse, leave the horse on the train, and then come back and pick it up like after it gets back around. You know, I want to be able to do that sort of shit. I want to be able to rob banks and not just have it just be meaningless. Like Red Dead Redemption suffers from the early Grand Theft Auto syndrome. Now, if you give me the same depth that was in Grand Theft Auto 5, but in Red Dead Redemption, I'd probably be all over that shit.
To be honest, that's probably what they're going to do.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not a terrible thing.
No, it'll be fun. I enjoyed Grand Theft Auto.
It was very, like, there was a lot of, like breath and, like stuff to do in Grand Theft Auto. Like, there's a lot of...
I hope that they give some gaps, because the original Red Dead, something about the gaps was like the empty space, the walking through stuff, the odd thing happening here and there. That grabbed me.
That's what West is. It needs to be barren and stuff like that. But when you attempted to interact with the world, you saw how limited it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? You know, like that's.
Then again, look at the original Red Dead Revolver. That was just a series of missions, right?
Yeah.
So that was the next expansion.
They also had they had some pretty good dueling mechanics in that game, though.
Yeah, I love the dueling mechanics.
Did anyone ever play Gun?
Yeah,
yes.
I played Gun. Is that the one? Is that the one where they they have a storyteller and like suddenly there was 700 Indians above me and they just go and they all appear in? Was that one or was that a Red Dead?
Yes.
I can't remember what.
That was Gun.
Yeah, that was fun.
And you're like riding on your horse, and then they're just like, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. I was like, come on, be real. And I was like, okay, that was 2. Like, you know, like, I really like that.
It's Rockstar, though, so you can expect them to expand, right?
Yeah.
On the original idea.
They probably have the resources to, expand enough to make it fun.
I don't know if this is going to come out 2018, but sure fucking hope it does. I've got a PS4. I'll play that shit. Give it to me.
No, if they put it on PC.
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 All right. So, 2017 wouldn't be a year if, we didn't ignore most of the releases that came out. So these are the following...
You look at your PayPal, you look at the games coming out and go, you're going to have to make a choice here.
Yeah, and then the games that you did buy, just like... So yeah, this is a list of games that we missed for various reasons, be that we don't have a console or whatever. But yeah, these are these lists. Peachy, what you got?
Do you want to save my second one?
Sure, I can save it. Yeah.
Okay. So games I wish I played. Yakuza 0. It's probably the only time I thought, kind of wish I had a console.
That game is so fucking weird.
Yeah. It's set in the 80s. I like the Yakuza games I played years ago when I used to have consoles.
Dude, but there was like whole mechanics about like dealing with naked dudes in a nightclub.
It was set in the 80s. It's like a gang. You just walk around beating the crap out of people, tiger style, and it just looked fun. It looked so much fun. But I don't have a console, and I'm not buying a console for one game. I'm not doing that. Because, I'm not going to stream that anyway.
Game is fucking strange. Strange, yeah.
That's my shit right there. And when you've put something in the 80s, Peachy's going to be like, so look at that.
So Yakuza is so strange that there is an entire mechanic about trading with children pachinko balls or cards. There's also
pull the lever.
There's also a mini game in the game. This is how fucking strange it is. There's a mini game in the game which is like Pokemon trading card games, except the Pokemon are ladies dressed up like animals, but very provocatively.
I need this game, Henley.
I like it.
Put it on PC, please.
I like it.
So there's literally like stuff in this game where there's just like, yep, I'm gonna trade this half-naked woman porno Pokemon card to a 12-year-old girl.
It's PS4 exclusive, right?
It seems.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It seems a bit like it's the Mafia games, except for good and interesting.
weird
Mafia
that I
1
don't-
was really good, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan, that was the only one.
Yeah. Mafia 3.
It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first one was good, and then who knows what happened.
Then they killed Donatello, and...
They did not kill Donatello.
They did! He's dead! Official
They
canon!
didn't.
They
He's
did!
not dead.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the original, not the...
Whereas, yeah.
Call of Juarez. That was the game, yeah.
Western games. They're good, some of them. Not the MMO one, though.
Foreshadowing.
We'll skip my second one. Because
Yeah.
it's going to be on your list as well.
Yeah.
Neo. So, I thought I didn't like Souls-like games. Turns out I just don't like the setting of Dark Souls.
Neo is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it looks so good. I should play it. Maybe when it goes on sale, I'll pick it up and.
So the PC version adds all the DLCs. There's 3 DLC it adds. On top of that, it's one of those weird games where like the game only starts when you finish the game. Right? It only starts when you finish the game. I beat it on PS4. I hate playing on PS4 though, so I didn't get into the second part. Played it again on PC, and I just stopped because other stuff came out and I didn't want to play too much more of it. But the game is fucking amazing. It's very, very difficult. It's much more difficult than Dark Souls. It's much more difficult than Bloodborne. There is mechanics in there for finding items. You mentioned earlier that you didn't really like it when like it was incremental, like upgrades and shit like that.
Yeah.
A lot of this game is you find the sword or the weapon type that you like. You get the combo down because it's made by Team Ninja, so it's all like stuff about like combos and stuff like that. But then you find what you like, and then you try and find the item that suits your playstyle. Because there's multiple different types of playstyles you can get into with different types of weapons and shit. And then as you get into the difficulty levels of the game, it starts going to like Way of the Demon, Way of the, all that sort of stuff. And you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm doing 227,000 damage per hit, and I'm only taking off like a little chunk of their HP. And you start getting into like fucking weird, like Diablo 2, 3, like late end game mechanic stuff. It's fucking amazing. Like some of the stuff that you can find in this game is just spot on, and it's very, very beautiful as well. The best part of it is it's not mission; it's mission based, so it's not like open world or nothing. So you can just run missions over and over again to like grind out like a gear drop from a boss. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, well, because of a certain game that came out this year, I thought I hate Souls-like games, but it's just I'm just not into Dark Souls. Just not my thing. But I found out that I love that deliberate fighting. You know, on the ball. You gotta concentrate. You gotta know what you're doing, and yeah, that
you would really like
Neo looks like my jam because of the setting. Looks cool as well.
Yeah, I think you would really like it because it's a lot more deliberate than Dark Souls. Dark Souls is like, I'm going to hang behind my shield, right? Bloodborne is like hyper aggressive, and Dark Souls is more like, I'm going to wait for my opportunity to strike. Neo, on the other hand, is like, okay, I got to know when I'm going to attack, and I got to be committed to kill this dude the moment I start attacking him, because if I take 2 hits, I'm dead. Like throughout the entire game, you take 2 hits, you're dead. Pretty much. That's how it works. And that's always going to be the same. And some of the monsters are just fucking bullshit. But, like, goddamn is the game fun. Like,
yeah, it looked good.
It's so good. So good. So good.
Yeah, and that's my 2. But there is another one, but we'll get into that because Henley wants to play it too.
Yeah. All right. So, we didn't really have gameplay.
This is gonna be long, is it?
We didn't really have gameplay for the stuff that Sheepy wants. That didn't play in 2017 because
you have it for the first one. He just didn't know it existed.
No. I'm not even going to put anything up.
No, it doesn't exist.
Because here's the thing. Sheepy, like in 2017, he wished he played Ideas.
I wish I played less games in 2017, to be honest.
But so you'd have more to put on this list.
No, just I wish I'd played less games in 2017. There are a lot of games I played which I wish I hadn't have played, is what I'm saying.
So, what's your first idea, grand concept?
I'd love to play a decent, like well done and everything Wild West sandbox MMO. Like take
Called Wild West Online. It exists, Sheepdog.
It doesn't. I'm sure
You
it's
played
crap.
it?
No, I
It's
can
not
guess.
out yet.
It's crap.
It's not out yet.
It doesn't matter. It's crap.
It looks good,
Does it?
but it's an MMO, and I just ain't got time for that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably play it when it comes out, but my expectations will be below 0. But no, I love the idea of, you know, a proper Wild West game where you can just ride around and just do nothing. That's what I like to do in MMOs. Progress 0 amount.
Well, have I got every MMO for you?
Well, no, you progress in those MMOs, but like, I hate levels. I hate levels in MMOs. They are the worst thing ever invented. Thanks, Blizzard. Good job.
You're welcome.
You fucked up MMOs and arena shooters and card games. What do you want next? Do you want my grand strategy? Fucking whores. Sorry.
Speaking of grand strategy.
Oh, yeah. Warhammer 40k grand strategy game by Paradox.
Mobile.
By Paradox. No, that is not grand. Whatever it is, it's not grand
exist.
strategy.
It's not made by Paradox.
You want a
Also,
super
probably not
far
grand
removed,
strategy.
like, kill all the infidels with the click of a button grand strategy?
This is the man who sunk hours and hours into Crusader Kings 2.
That's the game I was trying to think of earlier. Thank you.
If you want to
Yeah.
buy it
Okay.
all, it would cost you
Here.
like $1,000.
give me a second. I have got 341 hours in Crusader Kings 2. I have
Life wasted.
120. I have 120 hours in Europa Universalis 4,
Another life wasted.
and I have 309 hours in Hearts of Iron 4.
I'm
know,
sorry,
there
I
are
like video
people-
games in my video game.
There are people who have lived less time than you've played, not played those games.
Yeah, fuck them.
There are people that are born and then die in the same amount of time that you had playing Crusader Kings 2 where you didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, fuck them. I'm glad they're dead.
I got to play Crusader Kings 2. So what's the third trash thing you want to say?
A decent Space Station 13 remake / clone.
Station
It
is.
can't. It is no, and that's by Dean Hall. He is notoriously famous for being shit at making games. He will never finish Station Is. He'll disappear and he'll start making
I'm sorry.
a Vampire the Masquerade remake.
I put Teletubbies on while you're like
While I'm ranting.
yeah, and then the baby son came up. I forgot they had a baby son in that shit.
You know that baby son, that kid who played the baby son died before I finished playing Hearts of Iron 4. And I killed it.
Yeah. Oh man. Whew.
Yeah, Space Station 13 is such a cool idea. I can't play it. It is basically unplayable.
Yeah, it's like Dwarf
It is
Fortress.
made on. No,
Don't
no,
worry,
it's not. It's not like Dwarf Fortress. It is shittily made.
Remaking
You know.
it is also impossible because they keep
Yeah.
trying, right?
Like if you look into it, there's been about 12 different attempts to
Yes,
remake
there
it,
are.
and they have all failed horribly. And it's now a curse, apparently.
But now I see it in the same line that I see like werewolf remakes. There's tons of them now. They keep coming out. Like everyone's like, Town of Salem remake. Let's go. Right now.
I mean, but Town of Salem wasn't that good to begin with, whereas Space Station 13 is really cool. The ability to like get really in depth fixing a space station, like if it was playable and at all learnable, I imagine Peachy would never ever appear.
Oh, you know what?
Anywhere.
Can I
ever
also
again.
add Station Is to my biggest disappointment list?
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
that
I mean,
game is just like, yep, everything's here, except you made it play like someone was handling garbage the entire time and didn't know where to put it down. It's like
what's his name? Dean Hall.
Dean Hall. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Dean Hall. Make a game. Just make a game.
Make a game. All right.
Any game.
Just a game.
Come on.
All right. So the first one that I want to talk about, and it's also on Peachy's list, was Near Automata.
It looks so cool with all the different types of mechanics and stuff going on. You know, anime fap-worthy.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Who doesn't want to fuck a robot wearing a petticoat? I know I do.
Okay, so the game looks strange, and the worst part, like, I don't know if it's a trend now, but why do games always do this thing where it's like, you gotta beat it before the game starts? It's like, what the fucking shit? Stop it. Like, that's the only reason why I haven't put too much effort into this game or thought about it. I own it. It was on 50. There was a 50% sale on Steam a while back for this game, and I gobbled that shit up because I was like, eventually I'm gonna want to play this game.
Do you know what? It made me think, oh yeah, I could get into this. Is the transitions between the different types of gameplay and the camera just like switching. Suddenly it's a shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Now it's a brawler.
Yeah. And now it's
now
it's a light visual novel where you jerk off onto the screen.
Yeah. Also, the guy in that was cute too.
Can I ask very quickly before I forget? Was Mirror's Edge the sequel out this year?
That was a long time ago, man.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it shit though?
It was bad.
Yeah, that's
it was like an
why
open world Mirror's Edge. It had everything it needed to be good, but it was awful. Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, I mean earlier when I was thinking, I was like, oh, I've got a really good one for games I wish I played, and then I realized it was Bloodborne, and that was released like 6 years ago.
When the PS4 released.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know.
We're going to be put on PC.
Probably not. It's a PS4 exclusive, so.
Yeah, so it's another one that's never going to be put on PC.
Yeah, never going to be put there.
Thanks,
well.
Blizzard.
Thanks, Blizzard. Yeah.
Blizzard, please.
All right. Well, the next game that I want to talk about is also a game that came out, and I was like, fuck, man, I need to play that game. But then I just...
Fuck, man, that looks pretentious as fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I have to play that.
It was fucking Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, Jesus, man. Like, Guerrilla Games, like, why the fuck is this a thing that you made? Like, it's incredible. It's amazing. I want to play it. I wish I had the time or the money to, like, just fucking buy another $60 game, you know? Like,
There'd probably be a sequel to it.
I mean, they released a DLC, which is apparently, like, fucking amazing, by the way, too. Like, that's why I'm just like, oh, maybe I should just wait for it to go on sale with, like, a big collector's pack or something like that. Because there's so much in it, you know? There's just tons and tons of shit to go through in that game. It looks great, though.
It looks really cool. I just don't get it.
So it's a game about it's like an open world game about hunting mechanical dinosaurs and shit. So you know, I don't know. That seems cool to me.
Yeah, I just
this video's
don't
all
understand
menus.
why they're
There we go.
robots.
The world and the design look great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a game that I like severely missed. Like it came out, I'm just like, oh man. There's a game that I want to play that I'll never play. So yeah. And the last one,
Oh, there is one more. Sorry, there's another game I wish I played. It's called Making Sure That the Audio is Also Recording when you've got OBS turned on.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Delete.
You never did it? Nice. It's a good one. Last one that I want to talk about because it came out and I was like, no, I wouldn't know about that at all. I never make that problem when I'm live. But
No.
fucking Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, this is the year of the Switch, man. Switch fucking destroyed everyone. Again. Can you imagine being like a Sony executive and then you see like the video for what the Switch is and everyone's just like...
Can you imagine being a person that falls for Nintendo's bullshit every single fucking time?
Yeah, and then like they release the Switch and literally it's already outsold the PS2 in its first year of it being out. Like there's more Switch consoles out there now than there is like fucking PS2s
My phone
out
has
there.
a more powerful processor. Fucking get that weak shit.
It doesn't matter though, man. They're selling copies of it, and the reason
Because Nintendo fanboys.
We have to destroy.
Sorry,
the
talk about your
Japanese.
game. Sorry, Henley.
No, I don't think it's just Nintendo fanboys. I think there's not that many Nintendo fanboys out there to sell that many consoles to.
There are.
Having said that, though, the reason why I bought one is the promise of the new Pokemon coming out onto it. That alone for me is more than enough for me to purchase it. I did purchase it during like Black Friday, Black Monday, Cyber Monday, whatever you want to fucking call it. That happened this year.
What was that?
It's like where you don't know what that is? It's where electronics go on sale.
Cyber Monday?
Yeah, it's called like
Really?
Cyber Monday or some shit.
Fuck you, America. I'm just assuming that's your.
I love Black Friday in Britain. They're like, no, fuck off.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It's so British.
Yeah, but I don't know. The console is simple, but I think the first Zelda that's ever dropped the Zelda mechanic, seems like a good one to me. So,
Wasn't Breath of the Wild the one where they had weapon degradation?
Yes, it is. But they have so many weapons in that game. So it's a looter shooter, Peachy. It's a fucking looter shooter.
I can't get excited about anything made by Nintendo past 1994.
Wow.
They just shit on you. And this weird shit about the mini. Oh, I just fuck off, Nintendo.
Duck Hunt.
Get out of my life.
Duck Hunt and Axe Razor were the height of Nintendo.
Motherfuckers, like I can't believe
Super Mario World
two.
on the SNES.
I can't believe you two. I just can't believe it.
I have not got time for Nintendo. I will not. I've got no patience to put up with any of their bullshit, regardless of if you dig through this shit and there's a little nugget of gold in there. I just don't care about Nintendo. I hate them that much.
Yeah.
I will not even try.
I'm not a 12-year-old girl anymore.
Anymore. It's true, he's not.
I'm not. Sorry, Nintendo.
There's someone fucking vacuum cleaning outside my house right now. Like, why? It's like 4.
Outside.
It's like it's outside of my house. It's like 4 in the afternoon. Why are you vacuuming it? Anyway,
How
matter.
do you get rid of leaves, Peachy?
I don't. I just stay inside.
No, I got like a hallway outside of my house. You jerks. Anyway, guys.
Deciduous trees. I don't fucking.
It's time.
Deciduous?
It's time, ladies and gentlemen. The moment you've all been waiting for.
The end of the show.
The end of the show. We've got our top 5 games of 2017. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to go each talk about our 5th placed game, 5th most favorite game of 2017. I don't know about you guys, but this list wasn't very hard for me to make. There wasn't a lot of, in 2017.
I couldn't find anything for number 5.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem filling 5, but if you asked me to fill 10, yeah, I would have had a problem.
Yeah, that's why I made it 5 instead of 10. I would have been.
Good call.
I was like, all right, 10 games I like this year. There's not a lot, yeah. There's not a lot. So, without further ado, Peachy, Pixel 8, what is your 5th most favorite game, 2008?
My 5th most favorite game this year was Avon Colony. Touched on it before.
Yeah.
Sci-fi city builder, that is my jam.
How much does it have to do with birds?
Huh?
How much does it have to do with birds?
0.
Actually, there is a flock of birds that flies over every now and again, and when I'm streaming it, I will always hit the Jurassic Park music and slowly just stare at them going across the sky. I love city builders. This felt like I played Planet Base. I liked it. I wanted a bit more mechanics. This one gave me a bit more mechanics. I'm hoping that Surviving Mars is gonna give me more mechanics on top of that. It was good. It was good. I preferred it to Anno.
If you want some real depth, Paradox is the way to go.
Yeah, I'm hoping on that.
They always go deep inside you.
I did like Anno, but there is a bit too much trade agreements, Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace stuff going on there. But this was a straight up city builder, and I had fun with it. It could have just done with a bit more depth, but I didn't feel like I just wanted more because it was good, It wasn't like, oh, there's just not enough here. I just wanted more because it was good.
Awesome.
Are we going through everyone's 5?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sheepy, my man, the myth, the legend. What is your 5th?
Lawbreakers. We've kind of already done it. So.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a fucking. There we go.
Like we've talked about why it's good. We've talked about why it's bad. I liked the game. The fact that no one ever fucking played it after a couple of weeks kind of ruined it. But
So
it was still a good game.
Developers did something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know, like, because people played it, right? You were playing the game with people. So why, in your opinion, did those people stop playing?
It's one of those games that's very easy to stop playing. It's good. It's a lot of fun.
Because it never hit a massive number to keep people in. So if like, you know, a percentage dropped out for a bit, the player base gets small. So then there's another 10% that go, oh, there's not enough people to play against. I'm going to stop playing. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
There was also a certain aspect of lack of, I guess, things to keep you going. Like, you've got the gameplay.
Progression.
Yeah, there's no progression. There's no feeling of accomplishment.
So would you say that it had the same problem that Battlefront 1 had?
Yeah, to a certain, like, the thing is
because that's what did it in for me, Battlefront 1, because you'd play and be like, yeah, this feels fucking awesome. Sounds are great. There's nothing to gain.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Yeah.
Is, you know, it's just like the movement mechanics for all the different characters were amazing. Like, the first time I played as a Wraith, being able to jump across
when you lock down how our class worked.
Like being able to fire a little knife that explodes when you shoot it, you know, and then like slide all the way across a map, pick up a ball, slide all the way back, like do loads of maneuvers.
Being able to outplay people.
Like the really great thing about it was 100% skill, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there wasn't any like kind of, you know.
That's probably why there was no progression in there.
Yeah.
Because they wanted it to be like, they wanted it to be Quake. But you can't have Quake in 2017 anymore.
No. Like, I don't need progression in my game, but obviously people do, so they should.
Yeah. I mean, why did you stop playing, Peachy? Like, what was the thing that made you stop?
No one was playing it.
Yeah, I queued for 40 to 50 minutes for a game.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
And it just came out.
This was like
a little while after. Like when it first came out and the demo, there was lots of people playing it.
Yeah, there were a lot of people playing it for a little bit.
You'd queue for a couple of seconds and you'd be into a game.
Yeah, but then like I think it was maybe a month later, I tried to play it, and it was just like it was gone.
Kind of reminds me of the big craze that they had a while back for like a Smash Ball sort of thing, you know, like a first-person basketball game with guns sort of thing, you know, like.
I'd say if this was released before Overwatch, like a few years earlier, it would have been very popular.
A lot of contention.
But I think they could have made it cheap. There's loads of things they could have done.
There were lots of things they could have done.
Lots of things they could have done. It's good. It's a real. If you want to play a shooter that is tight, responsive, got great movement, that's the game. But
it's so
Vanquish.
If you want to play against people. You'll have to buy it for like 10 other people so you can have a match.
Yeah. Wow.
Which is not so much.
Just play Unreal Tournament 2004. You might even find more people playing that these days.
Probably. But still, a good game, you know.
Yeah, and my 5th game, I'm trying to find a video of it real quickly, is Prey 2. Even though I didn't fucking, like, play more than 15 hours of it, that pretty much sums up my experiences thus far in 2017. That a game like this stuck out so much to me. And made me think about, like, I missed the boat for BioShock 2. I missed it. And just having this game happen and allowing me to, like, just play it was great. I should probably go back to it, but I probably won't because there's always more games to play. That's the problem. There's always other games to play, and you know that's just how it goes. That's just it. 5th spot. Fuck you. All right. Now onto the big four. I'm actually interested to see what Peachy has to say about this game because I played something like it. But Peachy, what's your fourth favorite game of 2017?
Spin Tires Mud Runner, which is an almost exact carbon copy of Spin Tires.
Yep.
It's the Redux. I really like Spin Tires.
So
I thought it was a good game. I had a lot of fun with it. It's like a mud simulator with puzzle elements.
yeah, no, I enjoyed that game a lot too. Like, but from what I hear about this version of it, like they do a lot of things to fuck up the progression, and they actually put progression in it, and you have to unlock different cars and shit.
So the full story of the original is it didn't run great because it was made by like 3 people.
Yep.
It wasn't the most optimized game, but it was good. It was fun. It had the core gameplay there. Somebody bought it. I don't even know the company that bought it because the original developer, one of them, fucked up the game code on Steam and you couldn't play it anymore.
Yep, that's right. That's what happened.
A company bought it, reduxed it. They made the graphics look a bit better. In some places, a lot better. The lighting is great. It runs amazingly well. They now have progression, which is good because you get an you feel achievement from doing these certain things. But at its heart, it's still the same game, but it runs better. It looks a little bit nicer, not too much. Not it like Bulletstorm. You know, they've just tweaked it a little bit, but they actually made it run better.
I remember struggling a lot with the towing mechanics and stuff like that in this game.
They've made that a little bit better as well to do single player.
I think I have like a video of myself getting 3 trucks stuck in a raging river. If I remember
you can still do that.
Yeah.
Still do that. It's still difficult. I think it might be a little bit easier with the way they've changed. They haven't changed winching, but they've tweaked parts of it. They've definitely done work on the game to improve it, but at its core, it's still Spin Tires, which I liked anyway. And it's on this list because I was looking for the best game I played this year, and there wasn't that many.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like this list was definitely difficult to put together. In terms of like you search your memory to be like, what was that game? Oh yeah, it's 5 of them. It's 5 of them.
My number 4 is Avon Colony, which Peachy keeps on getting in before my go on a game.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't even realize that was.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, but
it's a good game.
What is it about this game that made it the 4th best one for you? Like, I know that you like your Sims and shit, but what is it about it specifically?
The look transcends other games.
Look?
Like it's very similar to other games of the same ilk, except for it just looks a lot better. It's very smooth. Like you load onto a map and you're just like, wow, this looks cool.
It's very sci-fi. Very sci-fi.
And unfortunately, in 2017, that's enough to get you on my top 5.
Oh man. Okay. Well, my game. We've also talked about it, but it was worth talking about in that one, and it's worth talking about here as well. Destiny fucking 2. Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Wait. It might not be back. Let me just spend $3 here. No, it's not in that loot box. Hang on.
See, this is the thing. As a motherfucker who didn't actually play the release, you can't talk about that shit because sure, the loot box mechanics.
Talk about anything I fucking want, mate.
Yeah, but you're an ignorant. That's ignorant. You know, like
ignorant.
That's ignorant. But no, it's not as like the game itself was fine. Like from 0 to what was it level 200, 260. That was a good time, right? And Destiny 2
60 levels,
light levels, yeah. It's basically like your power level of your gear, right? It's not actually like you grinding XP or nothing. It's you find an item, it's more powerful than your other one. It makes a median level of everything that you have, and that's what your power level is. Up to 260 was a good game. There was a lot of stuff to do. going from 260 to 300 in the original game before the DLC came out was a bit of a fuck, I would say. I still played it though because the actual minutiae of playing the game was interesting. But in 2017, I can't think of a game that I played more, wanting more of than Destiny 2 because of the fact that, like, it could have been amazing. You know, it could have been fantastic. It wasn't the worst game of the year by a long shot, but they definitely didn't do a lot of respect to the people that played this game or liked this game. So
that's why I haven't played it since release. I didn't have fun with the demo. I was probably going to play it when it came out, but then with all the shit going down, there's other things I can play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still think it's worthwhile for people to like, because that's the thing. I never played Destiny 1, and I always heard about, like, people, like, you know, I have friends that played the shit out of it, and every time I play it, I ask them about it, it's like, oh, look, don't play it. But it's like, but why are you still playing it? Why are you still playing this game? And it's because, you know, the game itself is, it's the right type of grind when it comes to, like, you know, getting more powerful and stuff like that. Cosmetics aside, obviously. But
I just have a very low tolerance for grind, so the game has to be good.
yeah, don't ever play, like, you know, Monster Hunter or anything like that, because
Any MMO.
Yeah, I can't play it. That's why I can't play MMOs.
Yeah, but
Thanks, Blizzard.
I think
Thanks,
a lot of the
Blizzard.
reason why I played so much of it is because
Fortnite was shit.
but I went full-time streamer this year, you know.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sounds like a disease.
And
What's it like
and
to now be on minimum wage?
it's okay. I got savings for the next billion years anyway. But
Billion years.
the thing is that I just didn't, like, there wasn't enough, like, games to, like, keep my attention for that amount of time. You know, like, you do like 10 hours a day of gameplay and then like 4 hours of role-playing stuff. The role-playing stuff is the bread and butter, but I got 10 hours to fill. What do you do? You play a game with a bit of a grinding mechanic to it. You know, and that's what that was. Destiny 2, in a nutshell. But yeah, fourth. Thanks. So
Yeah, can we just point out these are just opinions? If you
Yeah.
enjoy a game that we
This
don't,
is truth.
good. I'm jealous that you can enjoy something that I don't.
yeah,
You're wrong. Very wrong.
I am not a big, not a huge fan of like not being able to enjoy a game because there's a lot of games that I just don't enjoy. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, I'd really like to be able to enjoy Crusader Kings. I just can't enjoy it.
yeah.
So much
It
fun.
looks like there's a lot of it does look like that.
Great game.
Opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one, right? Speaking about
Speaking of-
arseholes, opinions. PG. my
This
man.
is not going to go down well on so many people's list, but I truly believe this.
top three. Third
Top three.
third
My
favorite
third
game.
Favorite game of the year is Mass Effect Andromeda.
Wrong. Wrong.
So let me give you a bit of background on me and Mass Effect. Mass Effect 1 was my favorite game ever. It was sci-fi. It was this RPG. You could go around the universe and be a space badass. Didn't like 2 because the gameplay was shit. I hated it. I hated the gameplay. Everyone goes, "Ooh, the story." I don't give a shit. Okay, I like visual story. I like it when there's a laser. I can see a laser, not somebody going, "There's a laser over there." But
So
you
how
can
did
see-
you handle all the talking and shit in this game? Because there's a lot of it.
No, I still enjoy that. And then 3, it was like people were like, "Oh, the story. I don't care about the story." But the second I started playing, I played the demo of Mass Effect, and it was just the most sci-fi thing. It kind of had, so the first one has that 70s sci-fi feel to it. This one brought it back a bit, like with the ships. It felt so sci-fi, and I wasn't hung up on what happened in 2 and 3 because I didn't enjoy those games, and I just went into it basically only playing, to any real extent, the first Mass Effect, and this felt like a sequel to the first Mass Effect, even though it was a prequel.
That's an
But it
interesting way
felt
of thinking about it, I guess. But
everything about it. I love the RPG aspects. I loved the sci-fi. Oh my god!
Did you run into any of the like the dumb faces or anything like that?
The dumb faces? Oh,
Yeah.
I'd see.
Like the dumb animations and
Again,
all that sort of stuff.
going from Mass Effect 1, those animations were amazing in comparison. And also, I played it. This was after they released the free demo, so they tweaked the animations. I understand why the animations were like that. It's because they used code to do it, because there were so many people in the game.
No. It wasn't. It's not code. So basically, what happens is when people do animations, what they do is they did the same thing for Witcher 3, where they have basic animations that they go in later and then they tweak once the game is done. They have a set thing.
Yeah.
Like, so this is the emotion this person's feeling. So let's put in the generic emotion animation for this, and then we go in later and we tweak all the stuff.
What they tried to do was make the algorithm do it for them.
Well, no, what actually happened is they ran out of fucking time and they ran out of money, and they didn't go through and change it again. So they had the basic generic shit in there, which is why everyone looks like they've got like they've had the most boring sex of their entire life. That's what it looks like.
When I played it, I didn't have the original release animations because they did tweak it. I read patch notes about that.
Okay, yeah.
But again, it wasn't too bad. Like, I played the first one. Do you know what I mean? It was an improvement on the first one. Like, I played Deus Ex, where they literally have a gif of someone's mouth. You know? It was just so sci-fi, and I loved every second of it. The story as well was sci-fi. It was stupid. It made no fucking sense whatsoever. I just really liked the world and being in it and flying around.
You fuck any aliens?
Who did I bang?
Who did I bang? Where did my penis go? Yeah.
The news lady. I kept asking my chat when I was streaming it. I was like, "Can I bang this person?" Every time someone new, I was like, "Can I bang this person?" And the answer was predominantly, "Yes, you can."
Yes, you can.
So my experience with Mass Effect Andromeda was the multiplayer. I bought Origin have this early access thing, like the 10-hour demo thing that you can get. So myself, Floof, I think it was Fuzzy.
I remember that, yeah.
We all played the multiplayer for 10 hours straight. That was a good fucking time. Ran out of...
Steven was telling me that he enjoyed the multiplayer a lot.
Yeah, the multiplayer was fun. I didn't want to touch the single player though. It looked so bad. Like, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I like colonizing planets. I like the fiction that they gave for the reason why you were on these planets. Because in Mass Effect 1, you go on a planet and there's either a mission there or you can get some minerals or something. There's not much there. It was just like, hey, you can go into space and go to different planets. And this one just felt like so much more.
Yeah, they needed to add that Strafe procedural generation to the planets.
God damn it, Strafe. Why advertise yourself as that? It's like, hey, we're making a brony game, but it's not. It's how to make toast.
I'd play that game.
A brony toast game? I'm confused. What is this reference you mentioned?
You just put the toaster down and then it pops up and it's been toasted in the art of brony.
But they sell it to you as if it was the game My Little Pony.
Yeah. God. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, what a fucking surprise! What an upset! What an upset that Peachy enjoyed a trash game. In 2017, year of the trash.
It was trash.
Yep. Sheepdog.
Number 3 is They Are Billions, which very recently popped into my existence, and I'm so happy about it. If it was a full release,
I'm trying to find a good video of it because it really doesn't do it justice unless you see the scale. Of this.
I believe Sheepdog Gaming has a couple of videos.
No, don't show those videos. That's me doing very badly over and over again.
Oh my god, shut up! Yeah, it seems to be if you get invaded, that's it, game over. Start again.
It's a domino effect. Okay, so basically, while Henley's looking for a decent representation of the game.
Yeah.
Basically, what it is tower defense, base builder.
Okay, I think I've heard
like real-time strategy with pausing whenever you like, which is I always love.
But you can't really do a whole lot in the pause, though. It's more like just collect your fucking thoughts sort of pause.
Yeah, I micromanage about as well as EA. Yeah, it's got this fantastic horde mechanic, basically, whereby every now and then about 50 million zombies come to destroy you, and you can put up like towers and units and defend yourself. You basically just survive the waves, and just the general zombiness. And one of the cool things about it is when a zombie attacks one of your buildings, it dominoes and produces more zombies.
Yeah.
So as it goes, as they kind of trash your town, they create more and more zombies and just go to more buildings, and it goes from everything is fine to fuck, I'm dead again in about 20 seconds.
I was watching Bravo to play it last night, and he turned to the chat and spoke for literally about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And he turned back to the game and it was game over.
Yeah. It is really, really fun.
It's also like very like there's a lot of like RNG mechanics to it. Look how much this computer's chugging from this guy. Like there's a lot of zombies on the screen right now.
How does it fare as just a straight up RTS?
Great.
Yeah.
It's more like Age of Empires than anything, I think.
Yeah.
Like there's not much to. There's no like
no
positioning or like. I mean, you put people in towers and they get an advantage, and you know that's
like a base builder RTS kind of deal.
It's
the turtler's dream, in my opinion. Like if you like playing
So if you like
StarCraft,
Terran, like playing Terran in StarCraft.
if you turtle a lot when you play like StarCraft or something like that, then this game will you'll love it. Like this game, like look how many zombies he's having. Yeah. Dark Rain.
Like no one, I bet anyone's gonna get that reference.
I know exactly what that is.
Dark Rain is one of the best RTSs of all time, and there's a lot of turtling goes on in that game.
Oh yeah.
Until you get the earthquake rollers that just disrupt all your defenses. That shit was my jam. Sorry, no one's gonna get any of this except for apparently me and Henley.
I played that game, man. I remember the box art. I remember like that's the one where you can zoom all they had like on the thing.
Yeah.
You could zoom all the way into the people
for no reason.
For no reason. That was on the box. Like you can zoom all the way in and see the action. I'm like fucking awesome.
And then I had the update with a couple of other like semi factions and. Yeah, it was a really good game.
Yeah, this guy's base is completely fucked. Like he's about to get overrun, big time. But yeah,
it's a spin on tower defense and RTSs, and it's nothing new, but it's a little bit unique in my opinion.
I wish there was
worthwhile.
They're gonna add a lot of campaign stuff to it later.
Yeah.
Like it's an early access right now.
It's early access, so.
Oh, so it wasn't released in 2017. All right, pick a different one.
Fuck you, it counts.
It counts. It's a full-fledged game. Like,
fuck you. There's literally 5 games I enjoyed. It's going on.
Oh, someone in chat knows of Dark Rain. Woo! There's 3 people. Woo!
We should download it and play a multiplayer version of that.
Mate, I would totally fucking play Dark Rain.
Ha! Look how close you can zoom into the units.
I did recently another one that I'm planning on playing, like classic game. Evil Genius. I picked that up.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah. So, my
all right then, you big old weeb. What's your number 3?
My number 3.
I'm so surprised. I didn't think I'd see this on the list. I knew when that game came out, it would be on your list.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Persona 5. This game, man. Okay, so I played Persona 3. I've played Persona 4. Persona 1 and 2 are like completely different games. So like, there's no reason to play them if you like this style of game. But Persona 5 was just like in every way, it's just like Yeah, let's snap. Let's do it quickly. Let's get it done. Menuing, super good. Style, super good. The soundtrack, fucking amazing. The only thing that I have to say was bad about the game is that there's a fucking NPC in the game. It's a cat, and it micromanages your time, being like, "Oh, you're clearly tired. Go to sleep, you cunt." And it's like instead of being able to go to a dungeon, do a thing, come out of the dungeon, do another thing, and micromanage your time, the game stops you. Like, this game would have been like maybe like my best game or my second best game if it wasn't for that fucking cat. I swear to God.
The cutoff.
Yep.
The cutoff that they had probably didn't help.
The cutoff?
Yeah, where they're like, you can't play any more of this game. Stop it. Didn't they do that? Like
No.
The company said
No,
you weren't
wait,
allowed
Oh,
to
you
play
mean
it.
the NDA like fucking
Henley
don't-
just did it anyway because he's a baller.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
know what you're talking about now.
It was
Yeah,
fucking stupid.
it was stupid. It's like, hey guys, you can't play after fucking April 5th in the game, and I'm just like, well, A, thanks for the spoilers, fucker, and B, nah,
Yeah.
nah, son.
Oh look, April 6th.
Yeah,
I actually played a game ages and ages back for Torture Sheepdog, and the devs messaged me through YouTube messaging and were like, we have guidelines for people who want to make YouTube videos, and you're breaking them, so we can sue you.
it's like,
I was
no, you
like,
can't.
No,
I'm
you
sorry,
Fair
you
use.
Nintendo, then you can't enforce that shit.
can't.
Yeah, you can't enforce
Anyway,
that
yeah.
shit. But no, this game was really, really good. It had a lot of really good style to it. And in terms of like, I still think in order of personas, which one's my favorite? I still think 3 is the best one because there's a lot of persona is time management. And they fucked that up in this one because you could go into a dungeon, you could clear it in one night, and then you just spend the rest of the time being like, I'm just going to eat a burger over and over again. Aside from that, though, it was really, really good. And that's why the cat was like, you should go to bed because you're tired. Because there's a mechanic in the game to circumnavigate that cat fucking bullshit, right? You can get a massage from a love interest later on, and that'll allow you to do whatever you want in like at nighttime after you get out of a dungeon. And the moment I got that is the moment that the game was just like, and it just took off, and I just fucking destroyed it after that. But yeah, personas, mixing them, grinding them out, finding the personas for the boss battle that you need, getting the right, resistances and all that sort of shit. Spot on. Great game. Definitely worth playing. However, just keep in mind that cat is fucking annoying. Just the worst.
It seemed to me like people who didn't play Persona didn't give a shit. Anyone who tried it was like, I love this.
Yeah. Like, you either like Persona or you don't. And I like Persona.
I think you can tell before you play it if you're going to like it or not.
Yeah, definitely. It took me 86 hours to beat the game. It's a long fucking game. And it didn't overstay its welcome. I'd say maybe the very last portion of the game, I was just like, ugh, let me end it because it was going on for too long. But it was just the last part of that game. Just the last part. Anyway. That's my hot garbage number 3. Number 2, Peachy. Give me a moment. But yeah, second most favorite game of 2017.
This is the best game in the genre that I've ever played. Ever.
Okay. Go on.
Anime girls.
Can I say what it is? Yeah,
Yeah,
have
you
got the video?
can say what it is. Yeah.
Forza 7. It was expensive when I bought it. I don't usually buy games at that price, but I needed a racing game.
My wife fucking loves these games, by the way.
I really enjoy.
My wife
racing.
doesn't play games.
There you go. It's a great simulation. There's so many cars. There's all the tracks you love. Apparently multiplayer's a mess, but I've not even touched multiplayer yet.
Mm-hmm.
There are loot boxes. They've
What?
If you think of it,
Fucking what? How? What did they give?
right. So
Cars?
in the Forza games, you used
Okay.
to have things called mods, right? These are little cards that you can activate when you go into a
Like a
race.
turbo
Make
boost or something, right?
No, it makes the game more difficult but you.
So
get
it's like skulls
cash.
from like Halo or something, right? Like they're like game modifiers, yeah.
Yeah, it's a game modifier. They're called mods, yeah. And you know, it's like turn off all the like traction control, which I played without it anyway, because I like the full simulation. I like to know that I fucked up because I fucked up. But if you just like, they've always had that, but in this game they are hidden behind loot boxes, which you can buy with in-game cash. Note in mind, I'm usually on 0 cash because you got to buy cars to get up your collection score, so you can get better rewards and stuff. So I didn't buy loot boxes after the first 2. So basically, if you think of Forza as now they've removed mods, you can ignore the loot boxes and it's fine.
Okay.
But it is the best driving simulation that I've ever played ever. It's so good. The controls are spot on. There are a few cars where I'm like, because I've driven the cars, I'm like, this car doesn't quite handle like that, but it's got all these tunings that you can do to like stock cars. People can upload their own versions of tuning to completely change the way a car
Can
feels.
I get anime prints on the side of my
You
car?
can get anime prints on the side of your car.
Nice.
You can like fully deck out your car.
I want a Hatsune Miku fucking like bright pink fucking speed demon. Give me that
yeah, you
shit.
can do that. You can
Nice.
put whatever you want in the car. You can make it look like anything at all.
Yeah.
It's just so good. And the AI normal is a bit limp. The next level up is a bit better, but it's got this setting to turn on or off the aggression level. And when you start putting it up to, because I'm playing on very hard at the moment, not on the full simulation, but very hard. AI with the aggression on, it's a battle. It's just so good. Like I've got the difficulty to where I can win the odd game here and there, but I'm not always the most important person in that race.
Yeah.
And that's good. That feels good because when you win, it's just a really good simulation.
So, what are you playing with, like controller wise? You using
I'm playing
controller
with-
or keyboard
I'm
or a
playing
driving
with my
stick?
Luna White. An interesting thing about the controller is in the newer Xbox One controllers, they've got separate vibration things, and you can actually feel the limits of your brakes and your acceleration for the wheels spinning because it vibrates in different parts of the controller. It's a very immersive experience. Can't believe I just said that. But I feel
This is not an ad.
this is not. I fucking really enjoy. This is a good game. If you like racing games, this is the one.
Are
I
we
have
both
also
laughing
played
at
the-
Sky's comment? Just
Yeah, huh?
Yes, I thought that a Piccolo. I don't know. I don't watch it.
I don't watch anime. He said,
You are
lying.
the most weeb, non-weeb person I've seen in my life.
He just
Why?
likes jerking it to cat girls. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
no,
it.
that's true. Yeah, but that's a little bit weeb.
Yeah. He wants the
No,
tail to be
that's-
stuck
that's
in his hair.
bestiality. Okay, get my kink correct, sir.
Anyway,
Only
you
if
were-
they're more cat than girl.
All right.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Did you just censor yourself? Holy shit!
Do you want me to say it? I'll say it. Fuck
Look,
it.
Microsoft is giving us a lot of money to put them at least in first or second place. So
I will say, Windows fucking 10 store can go suck a dick. Put that shit
Yeah.
on Steam or something that works. Cause fuck you. But the game is good.
all right. Okay. So this is a game that's from my point of view, like it was completely.
Is this another loot box game? Holy shit!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Loot box is in it. I never did any loot box thing. I didn't need to, so I don't know what the loot box shit is or is like.
I think it's paid to skip stuff.
Yeah. All right. So what game is it?
Middle Earth: Shadow of War, which for about 60 of my 69 episodes, I called Middle Earth Shoddle of War and Model of Bor and
So what? Okay.
Middle Wars, and I couldn't get the fucking title of this.
I
ever.
forgot that this game had fucking loot boxes. Can I just say I forgot it did? Why does every fucking game need loot boxes nowadays? What's going
It's just
on?
the gambling loot boxes. Fuck off.
Like,
If you want a cool kid,
I mean, there's
fine,
no.
yeah.
They're not even loot boxes. really. I mean, they are, but there's no gambling in it. It tells you exactly what you're going to get, basically.
Then why do you need to open it?
I don't know.
Anyway, tell us about this game. What exactly made you put it in second spot?
So this is a giant, solid improvement from the first one, basically. Like, the one thing that made the original stand out was the Nemesis system, and they ramped it up and included improvements to it that are just... It keeps you playing the game until the end. When you get to the end, and then it's just a stupid, dickish grind, and it's like, no, fuck you. But right up to the end of the actual storyline, which lasted me 69, 68 episodes. On my YouTube channel.
Is that a measurement of time? Like, what is that?
That's 25 minutes each episode, so 69 times 25.
So 5 hours.
What is that?
It's a 5-hour game?
You said 20-minute episodes, and there was 60 of them. So 6 hours.
I think it's 20. I don't know. But yeah, no, it's
It's more like 9 hours, but yeah.
It's the Nemesis system, the stuff they've included. You've got instances where you will kill a guy, and then he'll come back to life, and it'll be like taped up with metal.
Yep.
And he'll be like, "You thought you killed me, but you didn't," and then he'll fight you again and be more powerful.
Yep.
You can shame orcs instead of like taking them over. You shame them and reduce their level, and it has a chance to send them insane.
Orc shaming in 2017.
Yeah, orc shaming in 2017. It has a chance to send them insane and make them ridiculously powerful randomly, which is a lot of fun. There are instances where if you almost die, one of your bodyguards will turn up and save you. And that happened to me 3 times in a row.
Oh, so Far Cry 2. Nice.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. As I said, I didn't get the chance.
Stranger perk from Fallout 4.
I didn't get a chance to say this before. I really wanted to play a Far Cry game because I'd heard such good things about it after Far Cry 3. I played Far Cry 4, and I've never played Far Cry after that.
Far Cry 2 is like... That's the weirdest fucking one out of them all.
Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
But, okay, so some of the really cool stuff is that actually the characters, they're really distinct. Like there's one character I got who just sang all of his stuff. Like his weapon was a guitar, like a lute.
Is every gameplay gonna have? Is every game gonna have that guy, or is it like
every game's gonna have similar? Yeah, like there'll be guys they'll have different names, they'll look different, and this kind of thing. But they obviously your game isn't going to be perfectly unique where you get some random. Although I did get some pretty random dudes.
Is it RNG? What was that guy with that really camp voice?
Oh, it's the Indian actor Kamal Mangiani.
Oh yeah. He's in the game?
He's an orc in the game. It made me piss myself. It was hilarious. He's like, I don't know what you're talking. In his I can't quite do his accent, but I don't know what you're talking about. But blah blah blah. And I was like, it was like this kind of tough looking orc who's ready to kick my ass. And I was just like, that's perfect. I love it.
Wow.
But yeah, like if you get instances where your orcs will betray you if they get too powerful or if you fuck up.
Watching this gameplay, it just kind of like it's right now. This is like a siege gameplay that I clicked on.
Yeah.
And all it is just like it's like a wrestling introductions for all the orcs when they come out. They're just like, what's up? I'm here, and then they throw a beer can in the ring and jump down. It's just so funny.
Fetch the table.
I mean, that is the best part about it. Is the orcs in it. Like they all have.
Are you riding there?
Great. That is
shooting fireballs.
It's a graug. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a grumpy org.
You get graugs. and you get carables
yeah.
and stuff. But no, there was one of my orcs who actually became a commander of one of my forts was called Gubu the Sweet, and the only thing he was like he looked like he was on crack. Like he was always shaking and looking about, and all he ever said was sweet. So he was just like sweet, 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 and having him lead an attack is just fucking brilliant because it yeah. And you get a lot of other characters similar who are weird, and there's one guy called the Whisperer who only whispers, and there was actually one dude who I first met like during the tutorial, and he fucking destroyed me. He was called like the Serpent or something, and I failed the end part of the tutorial about 6 times because he was so strong.
This is a random dude?
Yeah, you're a random dude.
Yeah.
I killed him, I literally cleaved him at the waist in half. And I think that was about episode number 4 or 5. In episode number 40 something, like late 40s, he came back like even stronger and strapped together with metal, and then fucked me up for another couple of episodes till I killed him.
So yeah, but like my experience with the first game was, okay, there's an orc who's immune to literally everything.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't be arrowed, he couldn't be surprise attacked, he couldn't be sneak attacked, he was immune to fire, he was immune to beasts, like riding a beast around. I couldn't fucking kill this idiot, and that's when I stopped playing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like there are times when you get into a situation with an orc who's just a fuck. Like there are some orcs who give you no chance. And like this is kind of, you know, doing a defending a if you're defending like your castle, sometimes you're just going to get taken out by a strong hit.
Yeah.
If that orc has the no chance, you go down and then he just fucking murders you and you lose the castle. You have to take it back. That is a cunt. But aside from that, you know, it's a good solid game.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun with it though.
Yeah, I always loved the Nemesis system. And they improved it enough for it to be worth making another game.
That was the standout mechanic of the first one. If they keep the Nemesis system going and get really in depth with the orcs and the characters and all that kind of shit, like take out the bland main character who you play, make you an orc or a Nazgul or something, and if they do another game.
Would you prefer this be like an RTS?
No. I think I don't want to make. I'm already asking Paradox to make that 40k game. I can't ask them to make this as well.
It's true.
But no, it's definitely could be improved, but solid fun game.
All right, and I guess you know we kind of already mentioned it a little bit, but you know,
Sheepy's disappointment, right?
Sheepy's disappointment. Yeah, this is my second favorite game of the year. South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
Incorrect.
Your opinions are wrong.
Ah, yes. Sorry, but I don't know. The game tickled me the right way. Like I played it for I think 28 hours, and I did it in 3 sessions. It was fucking just spot on the entire time. I think the standouts for me were just like, you know, things like Cartman's mom calling you over to like help pretend to be her fucking pimp daddy so that she can take over like a street and just shit like that. It was just, oh man, the game was just so many jokes that just made me laugh every single time. And it's hard to make me laugh. I'm a cynical motherfucker. Yeah, like
you mispronounced grumpy as fuck.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I don't know. The game was just good, man. Like the mechanics of it, whatever. Who cares at that point? Like it's to me, it was a delivery mechanism for South Park. So
the presentation of this game looks brilliant. It looks really good.
Yeah, no, it was good. The farting powers were like whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, it's a little old to be honest.
I think
I know you're.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you're playing the same kids as the first one, but when it was like, oh, you have the fart power to, I'd switched off like so hard when that happened.
Yeah,
farts aren't funny.
They can be funny.
No, they can't.
But not in this volume.
Incorrect.
I actually
The volume.
Yeah,
That's where the funny is in a fart. The volume.
I liked the first origin story. The whole and he fucked your mum thing. It was kind of funny.
He saw your dad fucking your mom.
And then it got so worn out by the end. I was just like
your mom, right? Like, yeah.
I was like,
These
yeah.
analogies, though.
Whew. Yeah, no, but that was the worst part of the game for me, definitely, was, like, at any point you could go to comment and change your character class, right? You could do that. And by the end of the game, you could have 3 at a time, right? So for me, and you can have, was it 3 powers at once? So for me, it was, like, I spent a lot of time finding the right combination. You had to do the tutorial every time you changed. Like, you couldn't just be like, okay, I get it. I'm done with that. Or skip it. You had to do it every single time. That was,
sorry.
That was the worst part of the game. But everything else
I was just going to say, the most annoying thing about it is you don't know if they're doing it on purpose to, make fun of the video game tropes and they're trying to be, ironic, or if they're just doing it because they make shit games.
Yeah, the thing is, you can make a joke about a mechanic being shitty, but if you're using it, you're still using that shitty mechanic.
Yes, and that's why the South Park games piss me off. Sorry.
But, it just felt like they didn't consider how many times a player would want to go in and change their class.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. It felt like, okay, well, the game's super easy, so it doesn't matter. But it's like, well, that's not the point. I want to go in there and I want to min-max this shit because I can, and the game's letting me. But at the same time, it's punishing me for trying. Like, it's, yeah. I don't know.
That was definitely a pain.
It was a bit of a pain. But I still think it was, like, probably one of the better South Park episodes I've had. No, like...
I also didn't like the artifacts and stuff, like the extra bauble-y shit. Like, it seemed pointless to me. It was a leveling system, but it was literally just like, who cares what the actual effects are? Just put the highest level thing in. If there
pretty
are
much.
Green arrows up, put it in.
Pretty much, yeah. The crafting was whatever. When you built that shit, it was basically fun.
There are a lot of superfluous things to this, which could have been interesting if they expanded on it, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just going to stop shit talking your top game. Sorry,
and not my top.
I know my number one's coming up.
Yeah, and we're gonna shit all over it.
Can I just say as well? These are probably, for all three of us, the most predictable and obvious top ones.
I don't know. I think Peachy's is a little. Wow, did not expect that.
No, I expected that.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
Peachy.
But, I mean, we are streamers and YouTubers, so people can see what we like. Right?
Yeah. So
before we do top one, are there any special mentions from anyone?
Yeah, I mean, I like going like They Are Billions was really good. I really enjoyed my time with that. There was a couple of like weird smaller games that I felt were good, but like not like, for example, Stationeers just needs someone else to like tell Dean to fucking make the gameplay like the controls not trash, and then the game would be great.
Knock him out and make the game, and then let him come back up when when he wants to make when you're ready to make a new game with a good idea. Revive him again or something.
Big ups for Ark actually coming out and not changing anything. Fully released Ark. Done. Game's over.
Hashtag finished game.
Yeah.
My ass. Mine is actually Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. I've had a lot of fun with that game.
My summer car, basically. Yeah.
No, it's way more than that. It's you'd like pull out nuts and bolts and change like rubber bushings and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, there was a couple of other games that I played this year.
Fishing World, which I already mentioned.
I need to play that. Is that like?
It's a free to play MMO fishing game.
Is it any good though?
Chill. It's just chill.
Okay, I need to look at that because, to be
There's
honest,
some mechanics in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
like to be honest with you, that game to me was like, yeah, like I hate like sport fishing games. I think they're the worst. But...
It's not sporty. You just chill and you try and catch a big fish. You're not trying to beat anyone really.
Good. That's what I want.
It does feel like I've gone fishing before. It's just like you just chill out, have a drink and just sit down for a bit. It's that kind of thing in a video game.
Yeah. The Escapist 2 also dropped.
That
game was interesting.
I was gonna mention that as my that almost made my disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, and it hurts me because I love Team 17, but that game's trash.
You and me tried to play that together. It was like,
yeah. It's a really interesting idea. You
think highly of the systems in that game, and then it just doesn't deliver on what your expectations are.
Yeah, it doesn't. You're like, all of this is really interesting, but none of it delivers. It's just bad. And then we got trapped in the mine underneath when you were trying to escape, and we got knocked out, and no one ever came for us. So we're just stuck there, like,
that's it.
Gonna die in a mine.
That's right. Yeah.
Another game I was disappointed with, which almost made the cut. Sundered, which is one of the more beautiful and atmospheric games I've played this year. Super awesome and just so fucking boring, it's unbelievable.
I have another trash game, Life is Strange.
Oh god. The first one was like cool superpowers. Yeah, nice.
Kind of.
And then the second one's like
teen drama with like a sprinkling.
And then the second one's like, what if we tell a story before she got superpowers? And everyone's like, no!
What if Nickelodeon wrote this one?
What if it's a high school drama?
What if
Make
we
it
focus...
gay!
Episodic.
What if we focus on the really edgy emo girl from who was... Yeah.
What if we have a 12-year-old that speaks like she's 37?
It's because she is.
Don't you?
Did Dead Cells come out this year? Was it Dead Cells? Dead Cells was fun. That was like some of the smaller ones.
Dead Cells. That's really. I haven't played that since it's released. Actually, I played it early access. That was good.
And Divinity: Original Sin 2.
No,
First arc. Can we just? Is there an award for the worst fucking implementation of the start of the game?
Is it the wheelchair section in?
Yes.
The wheelchair section, the first act in Divinity Original Sin 2, and I don't know, the beginning of Dream Daddy.
No, that game introduced you very well to this.
No, it was like, are you gay or are you straight? But you have a daughter. Think about it.
Yeah, it's literally like, so did you have a wife or did you have a husband? I was like, I guess I had a wife because, my actual kid.
But now you're into dicks.
Now you want some dick, and you're like talking to the fucking jacket dude, and he's walking you home. I can
identify with the game.
You got a jacket dude, and he's walking you home, and you're like, oh, I just had a lovely drink, and he's like, so you want to come in and feel my dick in your ass? And you're like,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Put it in me, jacket.
And then you got the Count Dracula guy who's just like, oh yeah, I love. What the hell was that?
I want to suck your cock.
Fuck you, Dream Daddy. You melted my brain.
All right.
I do have one other game.
What's that?
Mention.
What's that?
Oriental Empires. It is a really solid game that's a little bit similar to, a fair bit similar to the Civilization games. Okay. Except for it's set in ancient China and...
Oh, yeah. That was supposed to be awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. But it didn't make it because, honestly, I was shit at it, and I didn't like it.
Oh, the other two that's worth mentioning for me, Tiny Metal is the, Advanced Wars game that you didn't think you wanted and still isn't good enough. And Spellforce 3.
Oh! Massive fuck you to Birthday's the Beginning.
What?
Oh god, what a piece of shit.
What a pile of wank.
Oh, like that. It was fucking Spore again. It was Spore again.
It was worse than Spore.
Could you make
it again?
Could you
and
make,
I fell for it.
Could you make a dick monster in it?
Game.
Oh, fuck me.
What?
Dawn of War 3? What the fuck was that? Sorry. Jesus shit! I played like 2 minutes of that game and I threw up.
How come that wasn't in your disappointing list?
Because I forgot about it.
Because it was
I
so bad
repressed
that
it.
you like
Removed it
repressed
from my
it.
memory.
I shot that part of my brain out
Oh
with a
lord,
spud gun.
lordy lord. All right, enough fucking around. Peachy, #1 game of the year, man. Give it to me.
Garbage of the year 2017. My game of the year changed my opinions or what I thought I knew about the genre. My game of the year is The Surge. Oh my god, I love that
Great
game.
fucking choice, man. Great fucking choice.
Never played it.
It's
Fucking loved it.
it was an interesting game, but it came out at the time when there was a bunch of other shit. Like Prey came out at the same time. There was another release as well that I didn't get to, but oh no, Persona 5. That's what it was. It's Persona 5, Prey, and Surge, and they all came out at the same time.
They were all different, and the other two weren't really something I was looking at. So the Surge, when it came out, the Surge was the one that I was looking at because, again, it's sci-fi, it's cyborg, and that's where I saw. And it was like a Souls-like, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, but this has got my aesthetic, it's got my feel. Let's give it a go. And I found out that I love Souls-like games because
The deliberate gameplay is
dark.
fucking great, man.
It's gritty. The combat, like you fuck up, you know it.
Oh yeah,
But,
no.
like the different builds you can do. Oh, everything about this game,
Did you beat it?
apart from its release date, was needed a little bit of tweaks to make that run well.
Peachy, would you like a Souls game based on the Star Wars universe?
Oh yeah, I'd play that.
Yeah.
I'd fucking
Like,
play
Now
that.
I know I like Souls likes.
Like set it in post collapse of the Empire.
No. Knights of the Old
Where-
Republic style. When there was,
Oh, and go into like some really dark Jedi and Sith.
yeah, like
temples and-
Raven and
Fuck
shit.
I'll
yeah.
play that.
Oh,
Okay.
I'd play that
But
game.
yeah, this I really thought I didn't
Genius.
like Souls like genius. Just give that to Disney.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it's
shit.
dark, it's moody. I even enjoyed the story, which about halfway through I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. But before that, I was like, yeah, this seems like on the up and up, everything they were telling me. Just everything about it, and it was scary, it was creepy. And the way you have to like plan ahead, like when you're going to a new place, you careful, you check your corners and stuff, and that's a different game. And then you see an enemy, you think you have an idea how to deal with them. The mechanic where you get loot, you could chop off different parts of bodies. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, no, that was a good aspect of it. Yeah.
Like when you go through that area again because you want to get to a certain place, it's a different game. You're planning out, okay, I can go this way, take out this guy. I need to take him out in a certain way so I can save my health or to be quicker. And then I can go through here. I can probably run past that guy, but I'll have to fight this guy. Oh, but if I go that way, that's really difficult. Let's go a longer way. It just grabbed me 100%.
Yeah, finding shortcuts to make your trip back to the med bay quicker.
The maps were a complete maze, which pissed me off.
Yeah.
With, but then I was like, this is all interconnected and actually really clever. And the DLC came out as well.
They had DLC for this one?
Yeah, it was set in a theme park. It was all open, which I understand why people asked for, and the theme park kind of setting was cool. It was still the same gameplay, which was great. The enemies were all like mascots and stuff, and it wasn't as creepy. They tried, but it wasn't as creepy because it wasn't as contained and it wasn't as claustrophobic. I still enjoyed the DLC, but I still think the base game I like Souls-like now, and that's why I want to try Neo. And
I think you'll really enjoy Neo.
And I'd try Bloodborne if it came out for PC, which it won't.
So I played this game as well. I played one session of about 11 hours worth, I think. I got to the part when I just had starting putting together like the underground part where the sewers were and shit. Like after the second boss, I think it was. And for me, the game was the game was really, really good. Aside from the fact that there was just like it just came out at the wrong time of the year for me. It got completely ignored by me by that aspect. I had one episode on it, and I don't think I'll ever. I mean, maybe if I run out of stuff to play, I might play it again. But like, yeah, no, that's gone in the ether for me. But that game was fun. It's very deliberate gameplay, but yeah.
Yeah, that deliberate gameplay was I preferred the heavy weapons because it just felt like every fight was a battle. Like everything was a boss fight. It felt like.
God damn it! Now you got me thinking about KOTOR Dark Souls, man. Fuck.
Like yeah, I'm definitely gonna be trying a lot more Souls like because of this game.
Oh, that's. And you could like the souls would be like light force energy points and dark force energy points. Like
it makes sense as well for lightsabers because you get hit like by a lightsaber, you're probably dead.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like
2 hits from that. Yeah. Okay.
God damn it! Fuck you, sheepdog.
They'll never make it.
Yeah.
They'll never make it.
All right. So now, without further ado, we have
a daddy doo-doo.
A daddy doo-doo. What is your favorite game of 2017?
No one in the chat guessed it. I figured everyone would be like, "Oh, of course, it's Total War Warhammer 2."
I mean, I knew this would be it. Yeah.
So
I mean,
now I'm not much of an RTS person. I'm not much of a fucking. I've never really enjoyed micromanaging large troops and stuff. I'm more of a give me one type of gameplay and that'll be that, right? But
yeah.
I think you'd prefer this in compared to other RTSs though, because it is just groups of people rather than you build a couple of units of this.
You know how we say like Warhammer 40,000 Games Workshop stuff is aimed at 12-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
and also made by idiots.
You've got a gun that fires grenade, like a machine gun that fires grenade bullets that explode. Warhammer Total War Warhammer 2 has dinosaurs riding bigger dinosaurs.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at that right now.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs riding bigger dinosaurs.
And you've got literally like carnosaurs, and you've got little lizards hanging off stegodons, like stegosauruses basically, and all this shit. And it is a big improvement from the first one, which is interesting because they could have probably coasted and just made a basic expansion.
It kind of looks like a lot like war porn, if that makes any sense. Like you can sort of zoom in, and see the unit all the way down.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the thing is they've got like
into a unit in 2017.
Oh my god, it's the new bow of the year.
It's the new Dark Rain.
Yeah.
They have like war hydras.
The new Dark Rain.
They have like war hydras and like much bigger, big giant units, and those units have like multiple specific combat animations. Like if they're fighting a big creature, it doesn't just look like they're putting their head into their chest. They actually like react to each other, and it adds a little bit. But like the main thing about it is just they've made it so that magic is viable, which is beautiful. Because before you'd put a magic spell down and you'd be like, oh cool, a light breeze gusted through that unit, and now it's like it decimates their formation, and
that was a medium to heavy wind that just gusted through.
It's there's one of the spells is literally a whirlwind of blades that just tears through a unit.
When the whirlwind of blades is tearing through a unit, can you zoom in to the character?
You absolutely can. Yes, you absolutely can. But they've improved every aspect of the game basically. Sometimes in like small ways, sometimes in like big ways. But yeah, no, it's everything I wanted for the second one, and I'm looking forward to the expansions and to the third one. My money, like, did they take tips from Paradox on how to get my money? Like, is this some kind of conspiracy to make me poor? I don't know, maybe.
Sometimes I do feel like Paradox was initially set up just to cater to your tastes.
Yeah, there's I've spent a lot of money on the Paradox games.
Game of the year, garbage of the year. Thanks, man. Like, so would you recommend people buy this game?
Not necessarily. Like, the thing is, you know, like, would I recommend Peachy buy this game? No, absolutely not. He's a scrub and he plays Souls games. But if you have any interest
before this year,
I know. Well, 2017 broke you.
Get broke.
If you
2017.
If you like the idea of strategy games and you're willing to kind of push past the learning barrier that strategy games do, you know, if you've always wanted to do the slightly more complex than Command and Conquer strategy games, like Total War Warhammer, especially if you like Games Workshop, Total War Warhammer is just a great game. Like, it's fairly arcadey, so it's not as, you know, taxing. You can pause, you can play in slow motion, so you can, you know, you don't have to micromanage as quick as you can. You can play it in slow motion and react a bit slower, which I quite like to do, to be honest, because it's nice to sit back and enjoy the game a little bit. But yeah, no, you feel like your strategies pay off. You know, if you like bring out a skirmisher unit, draw out some of their units, and then encircle, destroy them before the main army gets there. Like, you can do all that stuff. Ambushes. Playing as the Skaven is possibly the most fun thing in existence. Half of their army list.
I hate you.
Why?
Skaven are dicks.
Yeah. Well, half of the army unit descriptors just says meat shield. That's the entirety of their unit is designed to be hit by your artillery while they like bog down the enemy. So it's awesome.
Still garbage of the year, though.
Still yeah, absolutely garbage.
All right. And last but not least, I guess my garbage of the year, none other than Neo.
2 Souls likes.
2 Souls likes in the garbage of the year for sure. Like, holy fuck.
Last year, there is no way I would have expected that.
No, yeah, definitely not. Like, so Neo is, as I said before, it's one of those weird games where, like, there's like build things in this game. Like, people can sit down and do builds for the game, and, you know, like, here's what you need to build. Like, you go onto YouTube and you just watch what people do. It's fucking insane, the amount of stuff that people are doing with the shit that they get up to. Like, you can go.
I have a question about builds.
Yeah, go ahead.
How intuitive are builds? Because I found builds in the Surge intuitive. Like, I'm losing these fights because of this, and I need to change this about my build.
So you'll lose a fight in about 2 seconds flat in this game. So there's magic. There's about 7 different types of weapons. And can I get some gameplay, please? There we go. And the builds come down to things that you as a character need to actually sit down and think about. Like, for example, there's a thing an element in the game called a living weapon, which is where, you know, you power up by killing things, and then you unlock a limited life, basically. And power, and you can just, you know, run through the map and do that shit until it runs out. One of the builds in the game is to extend that, and there are certain items in the game that you can abuse to make that build, to make your living weapon essentially last forever. So you can run through the entire map, killing everything without being hurt once. That's just one of the multiple builds that you can do in the game, and honestly speaking, it's like, it's hard to fucking talk about this game without saying that the first time you play it, don't worry about the builds, because it doesn't matter too much, right? Where the game gets interesting, like right now, I found gameplay of this is like this guy's just walking around with 2 sickles, doing like 30,000 damage per hit, you know, in basically a monster spawning room. It's a very strange game in that the end of the game becomes about, you know, just grinding to do the most damage you possibly can. And every level of gear that you get adds more modifiers to an item. So if you get pants, for example, the first time you get them, they'll be like, okay, here's 3 modifiers. So you might get like a little bit of extra health, a little bit of living weapon durability, a little bit of blah blah blah, and all these stats are randomly rolled, and you can re-roll the stats like you can in Diablo. But the idea is that you find an item that you like, you find the stats that it might have, and then you re-roll those stats to get the stats that you want for your build. And you'll know what that is when you're playing, right? You'll be like, okay, I like to do critical backstab damage, so I need to find weapons that give me more of that stat, you know? And that's pretty much the entire game. It's definitely a very interesting game. I haven't had that much fun with a game in a long time, though. It came out of nowhere, and I played it, and I was like, fucking hell, this game.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a thing until people were playing it already.
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere.
But, you know, the PC release is fucking fantastic. There's no mouse and keyboard support, so you will need a controller to play it. But, like, just then, the guy died, and he used a particular magic trick to come back, and then 2 seconds later, he died again.
I would never say play any third-person action game without a controller.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Movement.
But, I don't know, there's a lot of post-game content in Neo, like far more than just about any game I ever would have expected. So the first time you play through the game is about 50 hours, give or take. And then after that, it's just all like however much you want to get out of Neo. It's a great game. My game of the year. My garbage of the year.
Garbage of the year.
Garbage of the year.
In 2017.
Well, shit. I don't know. I think we've talked about literally all the garbage that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
I mean, I've got about 50 other games I can bitch about, but
Yeah, but that it's not. It's not...
about the game industry? Anyone got anything to say about that isn't loot boxes?
Oh, can we just stop with the loot
does that
boxes?
still exist?
No, because they need to fucking stop it. I'll stop talking about it when they fucking stop it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the industry. Like, can we just get a fresh start in 2018?
Yeah.
Like, can we just like not bring over any of this shit? Can you stop?
They brought back demos. Let's bring back full games with expansion packs.
Integrity. I'd love that.
Fuck off.
That doesn't exist.
What
mate.
color do you want your unicorn?
Purple.
Green.
Okay, be easier.
So
$2
each. So he can hide in my lawn.
Oh, and can YouTube start paying its creators? Because I really like YouTube and I like watching the people, but they can't eat at the moment.
I mean, I get paid.
I live in a box.
Sheepdog can't even afford a light.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's do
It's a
some
bug.
shout outs
It's a
then.
lightning bug.
PeachyPixel.tv Twitch. How are you? So we had a joke beforehand where PeachyPixel8 on his name tag right there literally just said twitch.tv/PeachyPixel8. And because
It was the letter 8. Actually, it was Pixel8.
yeah, because
Fuck.
because Peachy really enjoys putting that as his Twitch username. It was the dumbest thing. Anyway,
Imagine having your Twitch username.
sorry, Steam username. What did I say? Twitch?
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, you still got my name wrong.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Where can people find you?
I fucking do.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/PeachyPixel8 or on Twitter. PeachyPixel8, the number 8, not the letter 8. I have opinions that differ from other people's opinions.
Oh, I did spell it wrong. That's great.
Can you not spell pixel?
I just don't care enough, man. Like,
Peachy Pixleb.
Pixlab. I am the Pixlab.
That's
Otherwise
an 8,
known
I
as
mean.
Pixel.
Yes, hello, I am Pixleb.
Hello.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice. And if you want to see all the cat girls moaning seductively at him, you can do that over there.
They won't be releasing it at Volume 4 for a while, I'm sure.
Sheep Dogo Dudugu Gaming. What up?
Yo. How you doing, man?
Good. Where can people find
You have a good
this
show?
shit? Yes.
Where can they find me? They shouldn't find me, except for Paradox. Yeah, don't look for me.
Surviving Mars Paradox. I got you, boo.
Yeah.
Both of us.
You back off. Mine.
Don't.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube probably.
Cool.
Right now.
And
Yeah, I've already left. This is a hologram.
It's okay. He doesn't have to say it because his name is spelled correctly in the title box.
Yep, and you can find my shit wherever good Henleys are. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Appreciate you all coming out. And yeah, remember, garbage collection doesn't come until 2018.
Can I do it? Can I do an outro?
Sure.
And remember, guys, if you see a baby in the sun, kill it and play Crusader Kings 2.
You can zoom into the people's face.